Uh, go easy on Mel. She's European / disabled. I see. Okay, let me see if I can fix the camera angle. Like I've been streaming for 2 weeks, and there's like a already iconic classic camera angle. I am going to be changing my setup around. Okay, I got some new lights. I got some new stuff. I'm probably going to move things around, so just be prepared. Show pants. No. Twerk for us. No. Don't twerk for us. Don't fucking tell me when I can and can't twerk. Hi, horses. Show us your cookies. They're in a kitchen. I'm not gonna say that. Thank you. Twerk for yourself. Yeah, that's the only person you should twerk for. Fix my shitty connection. I fucking did. I gotta. It's cutting off the top of your head. Well, check this out. There we go. I think that's okay if it cuts off the top of my head. So, yeah, Melina and I are going to talk, I guess, about my past relationships or wherever else the conversation goes. She didn't want me to, like, nail her down to a specific topic. So this was the only thing that I could, like, get her to agree to. I'm probably being paranoid, but, like, I'm afraid of, just getting stuck in the same conversations over and over. But I don't, obviously it's going to be different with her. I'm not worried about that. Are you worried that you'll be too honest? No. I think that this topic is one where I can just... I don't think there will be repercussions. I think I've already said a lot of the horrible things about myself, so I've already ripped off the Band-Aid. Are these Beats by Dr. Dre? No, they're Galaxy Buds. Destiny is going to be watching closely. Well, good. I hope so. Will I be dominating this interview? I don't think so. It sounds like she will be. I'm glad you enjoyed the cookie clicker vid. Melina's been dating Destiny for 3 years. I'm pretty sure she won't be thrown by you. Yeah, I assume that she's got a stomach of steel at this point. Do you plan on doing any more relaxed content on stream, like gaming, or are you going to focus mainly on discussion? I don't think so. I feel like I want to make it so that when you tune into a mrgirl stream, there's like some shit's gonna happen, you know? It's not edited, but it's like curated. I don't want it to be like, well, is mrgirl talking to like a Nazi, or is he like just like playing League of Legends? I just don't want to have. I don't want people to wonder what you're gonna get when you come here. I want it to be like a TV show more than hanging out. Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me? Wait, you can't hear me? Yes. 1 second. Test. Oh, that's my fault. Hold on. No. Oh, yeah, yeah. Wait. Test, test. No, it's you. Oh. Uh-oh. Wait, talk again? Melina? Oh, she can't. She can't hear me, obviously. Yes, can you hear me? Okay, one
Yeah.
second.
Okay, I can hear you. Can they hear me as well?
They can hear you. But 1 second, I have to fix something. Nice, okay. Now I have to make it so they can see you.
Mm-hmm. I'm like a super boomer when it comes to this too. So I have no idea how anything works.
Oh, me too.
Mm-hmm. So that's good.
Yeah.
Uh,
When am I going on the kill stream? I'm going on tonight at 10 Eastern.
you're gonna have a break in between as well.
Yeah, a break between X's and Nazis. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need one. Okay, I'm ready. Nice setup.
Yeah, you think so? The plants and
Yeah,
all that I have in the background? It looks a
yeah.
little empty on your end.
Well, it is.
And maybe
I
you don't
didn't
care
know I
about
was
that.
gonna be. Well, no, I do care. I didn't know I was gonna be a
Mhm.
streamer. So like, I didn't know anybody was gonna be looking in my office. It was a very private place until 2 weeks ago.
Ah. Wait, isn't some of your YouTube videos
No.
at your office as well? No? It's not?
Uh. No. No. I filmed one after the Vosh thing, but I don't think any of them. I guess so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess they have in the past. But I guess what I'm saying is, um, it was never like a set, you know.
Mhm.
Now there's all these
That's
people
cool.
in here.
That's true. So how are you gonna make your setup?
Well, maybe
What
you
do you
can
think is
give
the
me some
best way to stream?
advice. I ordered some corner shelves, so I can put some corner shelves in there and mount them like
Mm.
floating shelves, and maybe put some. I don't know. I was thinking either like plants or like a xenomorph from Alien, like a little statue.
A statue from the movie Alien?
Yeah,
Because you like the movie.
right.
Yeah?
Well,
Oh,
I
that's
like the
cool.
movie. I like the animal.
You like wait, you like an alien? Is that what you said? The
I like,
animal alien?
yes, yeah, yeah. I like the alien itself, not just the movie. Yeah,
Itself, okay, okay. Even though we
yeah.
don't really know if that sort of alien exists, you like that specific
I
one.
assume it doesn't, but yeah, I like it.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I can do that. Sounds cool.
But what do you think? What do you think suits me?
Hmm. It depends on what you go for. Um, I like plants. I wasn't really allowed to have plants before. I think Steve was
Yeah.
very against it. But then I just started buying plants anyways, and I'm happy with it. Because I like nature, I like traveling, I like
Wait. Uh.
exploring.
Okay, we're gonna call him Steven for this conversation.
Yeah, do you say Destiny or do you say Steven?
I try to say Steven to his face and Destiny behind his back, but I get mixed up sometimes. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to. I feel like it's just a weird thing. I feel like both are problematic, if in different ways.
In what way? What do you mean by problematic?
Shaylin, my girlfriend, called me
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Girl the other day by accident. Like she was talking about me, and she was like, "No wonder these people like Mr. Girl." And I was like, "Uh, don't ever do that again. Don't ever call me Mr. Girl."
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, "Well, I guess more people call me Mr. Girl than anybody calls me Max. Like it's in a way,
Yeah.
it is more my name than Max at this point."
Or I mean, if there's more people knowing you that way.
Right.
I mean, I don't call Steven Destiny.
Well,
I
no,
think
I
I might have
know.
said
I
it.
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want my friends to, but then like,
Mm-hmm.
but then sometimes people online are like, "So Max," and I'm like, "You don't fucking know me, bitch. Call me Mr.
As Mr.
Girl."
Girl.
So I hate both. So then I assume that other people feel the same.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well,
Yeah. Okay.
whatever you're
So
happy with, right?
no. Yeah. You say Stephen.
Yeah, I say Steven.
I don't know what I'll say. Anyway, he didn't
What
want
does
you to
the
have plans.
returns? What does
He
the
was.
returns come from? The Mr. Girl
Um.
returns. What does that name come from?
Well, I got banned from YouTube last
Ah.
year
Mm-hmm.
for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And during those 4 months, I was like, I guess I'll just start over. So I made a
Yeah.
new YouTube channel and I called it Mr. Girl Returns. Because
Now you still have that channel.
The second Batman movie is called Mr. Girl Returns. So I was like,
Oh, that's true.
if I get banned
Mm-hmm.
again, then I'll be Mr. Girl forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true. But now you have your YouTube channel back?
Yeah, they gave it back to me after 4 months.
Oh, that's good. You must have been really happy when that you got it back, I'm assuming.
Uh,
Or were you really sad that you got banned in the first place?
I was I was very sad I got banned because it was like
Mm.
a ton of work. It was I mean it was like I guess I'll just keep going, but they're like
Yeah.
fuck. Really you really that algorithm really helps you. And so, yeah, people were just talking about me like I was gone, and I just had like screaming into the darkness that I'm still here,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't matter. And when I got it back,
Um,
I felt like it felt so arbitrary. It just felt like it would be taken away again at any second.
mm-hmm.
Because like they're like your channel violated the terms of service. You had pornography and nudity on your channel, and I was like,
Oh,
I
that's what it was?
yeah, and I was like, I didn't though, but I got like false flagged for it. And then
Mm-hmm.
so like I was tweeting at them and emailing them and everything, and they were like, "No, we've reviewed your channel and like it's not coming back." And then
Mm-hmm.
after 4 months, they're like, "Hey, sorry, actually you didn't violate terms of service and your channel's back." Like, whoops. Like so I guess the 4 months of like revenue and growth that you could have had like is gone, but here's your channel back. That was very
Mm-hmm.
frustrating.
So, how did you get into Twitch from YouTube?
Uh, okay. I need to make it so my chat can tell me if my stream goes down, but so that they aren't distracting me.
Mm-hmm. No worries.
Do you read your chat at
I'm
the
not
same time that you're
not right
talking to
now,
people?
no. But it's because
No,
I'm
no,
focused on you, so I don't read
but
it.
well, I know in general, do you read your chat when you're talking to
Oh,
people?
that's like I would say like 50% of my content is like just reading chat. Or maybe like 80%.
But I mean, like in a conversation, do you read it?
Yeah, and like all day, like 4 hours today, I did 4 hours of conversation with
No,
chat.
no, but if you're talking to somebody else.
Mm, I think it depends. If it's like a panel, I usually read it. Cause
Yeah.
sometimes there's some fucker that I could just meme jack and just take it. Just
Mm.
say something that I thought was funny that someone said in chat, I guess. But otherwise I
I
don't.
see.
Like if I have a conversation with someone, I like to not look at chat. So I have it fully down. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought this would probably I think a conversation with you would be interesting. So I thought I'm not gonna look at chat because I think I might have ADHD or something. I get very distracted from things and I can like
Yeah,
lose my thought very
I do
quick.
too. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks for rating me.
Yeah, no worries. I thought it was funny that I think I told my chat before that you didn't understand what I meant in text yesterday when I said, "Do you want to be live on your channel or should I be live or should we be live at the same time? Do you want me
I
to
just
ring
assumed you
you?"
were fucking me over somehow.
What makes you think that instantly?
We're on Twitch.
Because everyone does that.
Yeah. I just assume
Yeah.
at this point, I assume everybody's lying and trying to trick me. Also, because I moved from LA, it was 2 years ago, but I'm still
Mhm.
scarred deeply from the experience of living there. So
So you do you live in LA still or no? Do you live
no,
outside of LA?
I live in Oregon.
Ah, oh, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
So
nice.
how come you came to LA?
I wanted to be a screenwriter.
Mm-hmm. So you had
Uh,
like these like hopes and dreams, and then you came there, and
LA
then it
LA
didn't end
chewed
up that way.
LA chewed them up and spat them out. Well, also, once when I moved to LA, I moved to LA in 2012,
Mm-hmm.
and the country did not seem as divided, and there's not as much political animosity. So I kind of felt like I think of myself as like a superhero, and I'm like my superpower is like making political commentary. And so I did that in college, and then I felt like I didn't have that much to say, and it didn't feel like there was that much to talk about. Now, in hindsight, I realized I was sorely mistaken. I never really met any conservatives, or the few I had were just like girls I was like dating or sleeping with. But
Mm-hmm.
we didn't really talk about politics, so I didn't understand American politics really at all. I just had like the liberal version of it, which is like if Obama's in office, things are basically fine, and there's nothing much to worry about. This was very misguided, and the country was deeply in need of my services. I just didn't know. So then after Trump got elected, I was like, oh, I felt like I can't just keep pursuing my screenwriting dreams. I felt a call to action. I felt like I had to do something, and I just wanted to participate in politics all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
So I started my
So
YouTube channel,
yeah.
and then I just switched my focus from screenwriting to YouTube, where I was like, I have to get back to like my roots, and like I wanted to write screenplays with like political meanings and messages, but I mean it's like takes forever to make a movie, and so I wasn't even making movies. I was just trying to get people to make convince people to make movies. So I just felt like I have to do something, and I just wanted to like get off my ass, and that's when I started the channel. It's 2017.
Do you feel more happy what we choose to do than what you originally thought you were doing?
You mean am I happier with YouTube than screenwriting?
Yeah, or like that you got more into politics instead of just screenwriting, like movie stuff.
Well, I was into politics before, so I guess you're asking to compare the two. Happiness? I don't. I mean, I'd probably be happier if I didn't feel like the world was like um, turning against itself, or
Mm-hmm.
especially America. So
Socially, you
yeah,
mean?
I'm socially, politically, and like violence in the streets. Like I wouldn't be happy writing screenplays, seeing this outside my window. I feel like that sounds pretty unfulfilling. I would be happy if if I felt like what the world needed was for me to write screenplays, and then I could do that. Like yeah, that would be nice. But now I feel like it's um this. I feel like this is important.
Mm-hmm. Do you do you feel happy when you see progress? Like if you've done something that you say is good for the world or from society, like for society,
For a brief
do
moment.
you, yeah, like for a bit, do you
Yeah,
feel like
for
you
a
ever like
second.
get over that and then you want to do the next thing? Do you
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a stable happiness?
I feel like yeah, I feel like good. Like I did it. Like when I finish like a video series, I'm like good job. And then especially if I get the responses I'm hoping for, or that I didn't anticipate but that seem like I've done a good deed, then I'm like yeah,
Hmm.
great. And then yeah, move on to the next one.
Hmm. I'm curious, what is like the, what do you think is the biggest problems that you try to fix or try to improve? Like what are the things that you care about the most?
Um, I think the most broad problems are like that we can't cooperate because of political animosity is and polarization is happening around certain topics, and then that makes it so we can't cooperate. So like our coronavirus response was
Mm-hmm.
terrible. I think hundreds of thousands of people are dead that did not need to die. Hospitals are overrun and probably didn't need to be. We're just now, but like, so we're gonna might start mailing out test kits. It just seems like um, a mess, and part of the mess is due to extreme partisanship where like you can't even, people we can't even agree on whether there is a pandemic or like what it means. And so whether you're a conservative and you feel like the liberals are being overblown and locking things down for no reason, or you're a liberal and you feel like conservatives are not taking it seriously and everybody's dying, and I'm more of a liberal, but either way, everybody is frustrated with the lack of cohesion. And then global warming is another issue I care about, and it just feels like we can't we can't even agree on what's happening there. Um, and
Why do you think is
then
that way? That people can't agree on things?
I don't know. Things just get. It's like I think people are
It
afraid
is
to
hard.
Yeah. Well, I think people are afraid to disagree with their own group, and so and nobody experiences this. Like I know that everybody thinks of themselves as well. I just believe what I believe, and I just happen to agree mostly with my party. But if you look at it like from like the numbers from the outside, like there's no way all of this entire group of people is like we're all pro-gun, we're all anti-abortion, we all think mask mandates are dumb, and now we're all vaccine skeptic. It's like, and then liberals are like, we're all super pro like trans rights, we're all super pro-choice, we're all super pro gay marriage or whatever, anti-gun. It's like it doesn't really. A lot of these issues are not even related to each other, so it just
Hmm.
the partisanship seems clear. So I don't want to accuse any individual person and say like you only believe what you believe because your group tells you to. But if you look at like the big swaths of people, it seems pretty clear that it would. I think it would be better if we could all be more centrists in the sense not and people annoyingly say centrism is when you are kind of in the middle of the road on every issue. But I just mean like, you know, that you could stand up for what you believe in rather than what you think you're supposed to believe in.
Mm-hmm. You mean, God, this is words. I'm Swedish, so my English is not perfect. I how do
Oh,
you
sorry.
say it? We say ideologi in Swedish.
What does that mean?
Ideology. I can say it. It's like people rather see something that fits with them the, like most, as you
Yeah.
said, like, and like that one thing has a lot of opinions about a lot of things, but some things
Yeah.
might be very, very wrong, and some things might be more correct.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah. And
because it's,
so,
yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah.
so to me, like my channel and my content's about like being true to yourself, which
Yeah.
I think will lead to less partisanship instead of being true to your group or to your even your family or your friends or whatever pressure you're under. If you're you, then there's less groupthink, and if there's less groupthink, there's less polarization, and if there's less polarization, there's less.
I think it's
Um,
hard for people though to not think in a group. I think that's kind of like how humans are made a little bit. We're supposed to look at each other and like adapt to each other. That's how we kind of survive. I think that's just like
yeah,
naturally we are
definitely.
that way.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I'm
it's
not
really
saying
hard.
that.
It's really hard to
Yeah,
get people not to think that way.
I think what's a bit unnatural is the number of people in the groups. It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Oh, of course, yeah. We're not really
like
supposed to be that many people thinking,
exactly,
the same thing.
exactly. And so I think the mob mentality gets like, uh, yeah, a little overbearing, and so I would like to. I don't want to be anti-human, but I'm. It's more like I don't know, just challenging. I mean, like humans left to their natural devices are like torture and murder each other and rape each other.
Mhm.
So I guess I want to acknowledge that that's there, and the desire to form bands and kill anybody who disagrees with you. And it's okay that you feel that way, but I don't think we should
Mm-hmm.
actually keep doing it.
Yeah. That's
Um,
something that I get from you. There's a lot of people that's been like warning me from you being very edgy, and what they mean by that is that you say things that I would
oh,
say
that.
like a lot of people find extreme, even though it kind of like has like a good end of it. Things can sound like a little edgy sometimes.
Can you tell me more
Um,
about these warnings you've been getting?
Warnings, it's not really like they dislike you or anything, but they would say like, oh yeah, he's being very straightforward, very blunt, very, very honest. And I think a lot of people, whenever they hear some words that someone might be saying, instead of actually trying to understand what they're trying to say, they judge it very, very quick, and then they decide that that person is like that.
Who
because it's so
warned
much
you?
easier to just judge them, you know.
Who said it and what? Yeah.
Just like random people online that would say like, oh, if you're gonna talk to him, like you gotta be careful or you gotta not, you know, like stuff like that. For me, I don't really.
They're afraid I'm going to smear you.
Huh? What do you
They're
say?
afraid I'm going to smear you.
What does smear mean? Can you explain that?
Smear? It's when you
Hmm.
well, literally, it's like when you spread. Like I assume you know what it means literally, but in this
Hmm.
context, it means
Yeah.
make someone look bad publicly.
No, I don't think you'll do that. But I think people
No,
can
but
be very
they
scared.
were yeah.
They're scared. Yeah, they like a lot of people are scared to look bad publicly if they agree to something that are known as being not good because it's associated with this one thing, for example, or you know, that this is bad, but it's so close to it, but it's not really like the same outcome, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
You're
I
saying
think
you're
a
saying
lot
that
of
it sounded
Huh?
bad when I said that it's okay that we want to kill each other.
Or I think not me, because I try
It
to
doesn't sound bad
understand
to
what people
you, but you're
mean.
saying you
But I
understand
think
what
a
people
lot of
are.
other people can be very quick on judging. I think people are very
Well,
judgmental.
they're not here.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
They're not here. That's
you
why I
sent me.
wanted to not look at chat and just talk to you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, you sent me a video. We said we weren't going to talk about Destiny, but now
Hmm.
I said I wouldn't talk about Destiny, but
Hmm.
now I changed my mind.
Yeah.
You sent
Fair.
me because you sent me a video
Yeah.
of you and Dr. K.
Hmm. The first one, 2 years ago.
Yeah, and so I tried to
Yeah.
talk to Dr. K a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tweeted at him, and my tweet got like a bunch of retweets and like 500 likes, and he never responded.
You
And
think?
that
I
makes
think you can. Wait. Sorry. Say that again.
I submitted with his website. I submitted myself or I requested
Hmm.
my to come on his stream, but you know what? I think he's ignoring me.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he knows.
I could ask.
No, no, no,
You don't want me to ask?
no. I'll tell you why.
Hmm.
So my viewers wanted me to talk to him because they thought it would be like, you know,
I would really like that.
I would too, but people I think thought it would be like an interesting clash of like
Hmm.
attitudes and approaches to things and to some of the similar things. Um, and then I watched your video with him, and I hated it.
You hated it.
I hated it.
Why did you hate it?
I'm angry at Dr. K.
Do you
I want to
wanna
I want to fight him.
you wanna fight him?
I think so.
In which
Yeah,
way? How are you gonna fight him?
not physically, and the other way.
Hmm.
Yeah, it really pissed me off. Everything he said to you really pissed me off. Like the whole video. Do you want to talk about that? You fucking sent.
Sure.
Why'd you
Yeah.
send it
Let's
to me?
go for
Why
it.
would you send it to me if you don't want to talk about it?
Exactly. We can talk. I can talk about anything. For me, everything is open. You can be as blunt and open
Yeah,
and just straightforward as you want, and I
yeah.
will
Well, you
respond
you
with
married
everything with
you
an honest
married
question.
Destiny, so
Yeah, I did.
yeah,
So if I'm married to him, I think that says a
right.
lot about me. Yeah.
It says a lot about you. Uh, we'll get to that later. Um, so he starts out his video with you. First of all, okay, are you like? Would you consider? Are you friends with Dr. K?
Friends, no.
Your
Mm-mm.
professional, friendly colleagues.
The only time I've ever interacted with him is 2 times, and that was on stream. So I would not
Okay,
consider it friends. Mm-mm.
me neither.
Hmm.
All right, well, this motherfucker really pissed me off. So from the first moment of the stream was he was like asking you how you're doing, and you said that you were upset that
Hmm.
some of Steven's other partners in your open relationship were being catty or like bitchy to you,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
Um, and from the moment you said that, he starts like throws everything he can at you to get you to not be in an open relationship. The first,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, he keeps bringing up like Hindu mysticism, and
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, even before that, I don't know what the fuck. Is it like a therapy session? So
It's not really. It's more like a conversation
yeah, but the conversation
because
is you talking about
you can't call it. Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't call
call it
it
a therapy
therapy.
session, but
Yeah.
it is a therapy session.
Yeah, a
This is
little
my
bit.
first problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a stream called a weekly show called Advice and Confessions with Mr. Girl.
Mm-hmm.
People call in and they ask me about their lives, and I give them my advice, or they confess something. And my advice is usually go to therapy. And at some point, I just like because because it's not therapy. Uh, it's entertainment. I'm exploiting you for money. When you call into the show, I'm exploiting you for money. You open up your pain, I say something, or we back and forth say things that hopefully are interesting. If you're boring, I end the call. That's not therapy. The primary goal is to like give a demonstration of intimacy and um and help people like think about things in different ways. But like you're the I'm using your blood as ink to write that message. It's not really about helping the person I'm talking to. And so I don't want to say it's like it's just about money because it means something to me. But the thing it means to me is not that I'm helping the person I'm talking to. I hope it is helpful, but that's not the goal. It's not the main goal, and it can't be because it's in front of fucking 1,000 people.
I
That's
think it was
not
like about
therapy.
10,000, maybe 20. I don't remember. Something like that. I was watching at the same time.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
that like that's not therapy, that's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And your
I
pain
think he
is
calls
the
it that though. He does call it that, of course. And of course, like when I'm there, I'm aware of it too. But I'm a very open person, and for me, like I consent to it, so I'm fine.
that's that I'm not saying he's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm not saying he took advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that I think he's trying to have it both ways.
Like he's trying to get entertainment out of people, sort
He
of.
doesn't want to be seen as an exploitative um like user, sociopathic, connecting with people to have them spill their guts in front of a live audience. There's something insane about doing that. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he wants to own that. I think that I mean like the fucking channel's called Healthy Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like I know Mr. Girl has come to mean pedophilic murdering psychopaths anonymous. Like I just it I resent the clean presentation. So first of all, that bothered me. Second of
Mm-hmm.
all, even if it is a therapy session, um, it felt like before he went into it, his goal was to get you to shut down the open relationship and and demand a monogamous relationship with
Why do you
Steven.
think he wanted that?
Because he's horny.
You think that's what it is?
He's horny and jealous. I don't know. Probably. I've been in an open relationship before, and yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
people who are most critical of it, uh, some of them ended up being in open relationships later themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do. I think my okay. Do you agree that he spent the whole time trying to talk you out of being in an open relationship?
I
Do
have
you agree
not
with that
seen this.
perception?
I don't, for me, it's like I don't really remember much about this, but
Oh
he
well, then
definitely
you.
was hinting, he was definitely hinting towards that.
He was telling you.
From what I remember, his point was that being in a monogamous relationship does not mean that you are selfish or that you're like jealous or
Controlling.
insecure. So
Yeah,
yeah, controlling.
he
That was like
said
his
monogamy. He's
point of
like
it.
monogamy's not about control. It's
Hmm.
about choice.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
no, it's about control. I don't agree with that at all.
Hmm.
It, it's like that's like he's selling it to you. Okay, so you don't remember the conversation.
I
So
don't
let me.
remember. Like I do remember some things, of course, and I think like there was some things that I did feel through that conversation. And I think it was also because I was very emotional at, like in that conversation that I had with him. I think what we tried to do in that conversation that we tried to lean everything towards me having a problem about feeling fucked over or being like taken advantage of by people. That's
Yes.
what I remember it was more about than actually just like talking about open relationships.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be about.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like you were asking for advice on how to function within the open relationship.
Yeah,
And his answer was to not have
don't
an
do it.
open relationship.
Yeah,
And it just, I don't, I really don't like that.
I agree.
You agree that I don't like it? I don't know. How do you feel about it looking back on it? I don't know why you sent me that video if you don't remember what's in it. And how do you feel about it? Like, do you remember?
I think I was just thinking because you sent me videos, you were like, "Oh, like if you want to have like an idea of what we can talk about or like who I am or like what kind of perspectives I have on things." I said, "Oh,
Yeah,
in that case, I can send you something that I know is like very personal, so I can send it to you if you want to see a little bit about how I was doing 2 years ago."
I
That's why I
see.
sent it. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I
I
usually
really,
never send that one to anyone, but I just felt like maybe that's like I can
it
do that.
is just very disturbing. Yeah, you're like crying about how mean these people are being to you and how overwhelmed
Hmm.
you are and that you're moving and that you're engaged
Yeah.
and that you're starting out on Twitch and everybody on Twitch is
Yeah.
horrible,
Well, we
horribly
talked about too.
dishonest.
Yeah, we talked about that too. You said that you
Yes.
felt similar things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I see you were sending it to
Hmm.
me to commiserate about that.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
But man, Dr. K really rubbed me the wrong way. I really it. Oh, he also kept pretending to not understand anything you were saying, which also drove me fucking insane. So you'd be
I
like,
wasn't sure if he was doing that because he didn't understand what I was saying, or if he did that because he wanted me to continue.
he did it. He's doing
Um.
it because he wants you to continue, but he's
Hmm.
asking you to continue by pretending he doesn't know what's going on. So
Instead of like
especially if there's,
helping me out.
I don't know, or instead of just not like being quiet, I don't know. I don't know. My,
Yeah.
but if there's, especially if there's any kind of a language barrier, so like if English
Yeah.
is your second language and you say we're in a non-monogamous relationship, and then you have a native speaker say, "Can you tell me what that means? I don't know what that means."
Hmm.
That's, I feel like that's confusing.
Yeah. I
That
agree.
pissed me off.
Hmm.
So yeah, I want to fight Dr. K.
You want to fight him?
Yeah, just about everything. His whole
I'm sure
approach.
there's gonna be one clipper right now that is gonna post this somewhere and he's gonna see it.
Well, okay. Well, Dr. K, if you're watching this, uh, I challenge you.
Wow, you look so beautiful now. Hi,
Thank you, Steve.
you're welcome.
You're interrupting right now.
I was saying hi.
He's
Oh, the
sending a message
tables
to
are
Dr.
turned.
K.
Oh my God.
Huh?
He's what?
He's sending a message to Dr. K. He wants to fight him.
Why?
Why? You can watch the stream. Watch the VOD.
And in Steven's
Love you.
honor, I want to fight him.
You want to find Steve or
No,
fight
no,
him?
I want to fight Dr. K on Steven's behalf.
Oh, do you
He's
let
trying to
him
take away
fight
my man's
Dr. K?
non-monogamy.
Sure. I'm watching him stream.
You are?
You're right. The
You
reason
are.
why Dr. K's asking obvious questions is so that you can explore the thoughts more, not because he's acting like he doesn't know. Okay? Don't let him mind fuck you.
Wait, I just said
Don't let him
I
mind
just
fuck
said
you. Oh my God.
that.
Oh my God. I'm trying to. I would never mind fuck anybody except Dr. fucking K.
You wouldn't mind fuck him.
You know what? I want to replace Dr. K.
You want to replace him? You want to be the new Dr. K.
Yeah. I want to.
Are you gonna change your
Well,
name to Dr. Girl?
my last name's Carson with a K.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it
So,
works. True.
yeah. I'm already there. I just need to get a PhD real
Mm-hmm.
quick. Okay, here's another thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
My Discord was like, hey, we need to, if you're telling all these people to go to therapy, we should have like a resource center. Like, oh, okay. So after I mind rape the victims on my call-in show and toss them aside as they're having an existential crisis, we'll have a little trauma team set up in the Discord that's like, hey, buddy, now you can, here's the number you can call. They'll take care of you. I said no. We're not going to pretend that we're a resource. We're a TV show. To whatever extent a TV show can be a resource, that's great. But we're not doing referrals. We're not going to dress me up as like, oh, you having trouble with your life? You should call into Mr. Girl's show. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't call in. You should call in if you want to donate your blood. That's what you're doing. And yeah, I want to replace Dr. K because I think that's more honest. But I think what he's doing is also valuable. I do think that like the idea of healthy gaming or healthy relationship with games is really valuable. I just don't like the kind of like
having people on thing.
Yeah. I don't like the blending of therapy and entertainment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm obviously skirting the line myself, so it's
yeah.
And I hate myself. So you can imagine how I feel about Dr. K.
You hate yourself?
Yeah.
Why?
I also love myself, but I'm just saying that I have a lot of problems with myself. The biggest problems my like white knight savior complex is pretty annoying.
You feel like you're a fixer?
Yeah, sometimes. Or a breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Or a breaker who thinks he's a fixer.
Do you think you're trying to help people out because you feel like you can't really help yourself? Or like that's harder, so you would rather focus on someone else to do that?
No.
Or
No,
mm-hmm.
no, Melina.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can help myself. And I think I do help myself. There's pathological reasons I want to help other people, but there's also just like I don't know what else to do with my life. Like what else would I do? That just seems like the most worthwhile thing to do.
Is help
But
others.
Is help others. But that yeah, but that's not what makes it a complex. I hate that I think I can. And maybe arrogance. I think that's what it is. I hate my arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I see myself in my like out of the corner of my eye on my camera, and I'll be like, I'm like waiting. I'm like, well, somebody will call in and they'll say some like complex, messed up story about their life, and like I'll figure it. I'm sure I'll have something to say. And then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why do you think that you'll have something valuable to say? Like why would you think that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I get these flashes of anger at myself.
Would you say that you would recommend people to take everything you say with a grain of salt?
No.
Or do you think people
Well,
should listen to you and just fully just like he is correct, I need to go by what he said?
I don't think you should think I'm correct. You should think that I mean what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
So when you say grain of salt, what grain of what salt?
I take everything with a grain of salt that I hear all the time. Because I would rather keep in mind what someone said, and then I would like to experience it myself to actually learn it. Like what's going on in a situation. That makes sense?
Yeah, I'm still laughing at Destiny coming in and saying, "Don't let him mind fuck you."
I don't think you're
That's
mindfucking
that's a big spoonful of salt right there.
I take what he says with a grain of salt too. I think everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but Destiny's telling
Until
you to
I get
take
to think
everything.
about it for a
He's
long
telling
time.
you to take everything I say with a large helping of salt. Um,
I think you have a point in what you're saying.
about Dr.
Sure.
Kevorkian, about Dr. K.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think there's very little information. If that like to a lot of things. I would rather just like if I'm very interested to have an opinion about something, I would have to look more into it than to just like decide after hearing one person say something to him, I would
Very little
look more
information
into
about
it.
Dr. K.
Yeah, or anything in general.
Oh, I feel like it's all there in that one stream. I don't need to. I don't need to watch anymore.
Okay.
I
You know that
feel.
I did one with Steve too.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that, but I dread it.
That's the only one. No more.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Yeah, I don't want people watching me to think that what I say is true. I want people watching me to think that what I say is what I think. That it's true that I
Mm-hmm.
think it. So it's more about honesty, not correctness. That's and another thing with Dr. K is I think he wants you to think what he's saying is true.
I don't think
He
he
does.
has very strong opinions.
Oh, he does. He just doesn't express them.
Yeah, which is
He doesn't.
fair.
He doesn't say.
I
He
think
doesn't
that's
say.
fair.
He doesn't say like in my life. Here is why I choose monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
He says, here's why. He says, in my experience, a lot of people who have non-monogamy are very hurt. There's a lot of pain. I don't know how else to say it. They're all very
Mm-hmm.
hurt. He's just telling you it's bad. But monogamy is also bad. Monogamy is fucking horrible.
I don't think monogamy or what do you say, poly, I guess. I don't think it necessarily, or like non-monogamy. I think both of them are neutral. It all depends on what is in them, or like who's doing it.
They have serious downsides to both of them. Well, you can't say they're. I don't
Or
think you
upsides
can say they're
too.
neutral. They do, but you're. I
I'd
mean,
say
like,
it's like neutral things.
if you're calling in crying about how awful it is, I would say that it is fair to address the downsides.
Well, I wouldn't blame the non-monogamy. I would probably blame the situation with the people in it.
I know, but the only reason they're in the situation, that's the good thing about monogamy, is you don't have to deal with other people fucking your fiance. It's a lot simpler in that sense. But then there's other horrors of monogamy. They're less acute, though. Monogamy is death by 1,000 cuts.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever done a non-monogamous relationship?
Yeah.
Was it positive or negative, or both?
Well, it was both. I mean, like, it was fun living out my, like, all my fantasies and whenever I wanted. And then having, like, still having a partner to come back home to. It's nice. It's really nice. And then there's like a smug satisfaction in it of people in like mainstream TV complaining like, oh, marriage, the old ball and chain, and then you're like, not me.
True.
So yeah, that's fun. And it's fun like knowing that like you're that the person could like have sex with whoever they want and they're choosing you.
Yeah.
Not because there's like a weird coercion in monogamy where it's like, if you want my emotional support and you want sex, you have to come to me. And like if you've become resentful of me, or you're disgusted by me, you're disgusted by how I treat you, you still have to come to me. You have a monopoly on the sex market. And it's a weird, creepy thing where I can just get like fat and old, and then I keep saying to Shaylin like, we both know you're horny. Where else are you gonna go? You have to go to me. It's creepy.
Do you prefer that, or do you not prefer?
Yeah. No, I prefer monogamy, but it's horrible. It's coercive. Sex is like a lever that people use to control each other in relationships.
I don't think it necessarily have to be that way. I think a lot of people do it, but I don't think it has to be that way.
I think even if you don't want to do it, you're going to end up doing it.
How do you know that? From your own experiences, or just by talking to people? What if you talk to the wrong people about it?
No, just logic. It's not my. It's
so
neither
you think
my.
It's more about, you think it's more about controlling and more about power than
No.
actual.
I think if it can be coercive, then inevitably it will be at some point.
What reasons do you think people have sex for?
All kinds of reasons. I mean, immediate biological need, loneliness, wanting to connect with somebody else, or just loving somebody and wanting to connect with them, thinking that they want to have sex. To reward them for doing something that you liked or behaving in a way that you like, withholding sex to punish them for behaving in a way that you don't like. I don't think those are conscious reasons often. I think it's pretty weird when they are, but I think that's inevitable. Like if I'm about to have sex with my partner and then she says something like really mean to me or something I hate, like, or hurts me in some way, like my experience of it is going to be like, oh, I don't want to. Now I don't want to anymore. But in the psychological effect of it could be, oh, well, you didn't do that, so now you didn't do the right thing, so now you don't get sex. And I think it just inevitably can become coercive. It's like it's something's very important to the other person that you can take away or give on a whim. There's not many other like basic needs that are like that. Like I can't take away Shaylin's water or food if she does something I don't like.
But you can take away sex.
I can take away sex. I can take away affection. I can take away cuddling.
This is very transactional. Like the way you view things.
Right. And so I think you're conflating viewing things in a transactional way because I think that's how it should be, or that's how I consciously operate. I'm saying if you view things in a transactional way, it's very easy to see how people can wield power over each other in intimate relationships, even if they don't want to. So to me, not viewing it in a transactional way could actually increase the transactional nature because you're not watching yourself to see what you're doing.
I don't like when things are that way.
I know. Yeah. Well, I hear you saying I don't like that things are that way.
Or like when things are very like, I give you that, then I get this.
Yeah.
And it's less about just like, I like relationships where I feel like the only thing I want from them is company. There's not really like a pressure of getting anything. It's not really a pressure of, like, how do I say it? It feels almost very like robotic. Like it feels more like I just like to be side by side with someone and I can live my life, but they're living their life, but we're next to each other and we're going through life together. I like that idea more than just like having this like back and forth. Like I like you because you can give me this and you can give me sex, and it's more.
Yeah, I understand, but like I feel like I think that there's a denial to that where it's like you can't ignore that we're also two cavemen with piles of meat in front of us, and right now in this conversation, you got a whole lot more like meat bones in front of you than I do in front of me.
Why do you say that?
I've had this conversation with Destiny a few times, this interaction where I'm like, hey, so you're like a big famous streamer and nobody knows who the fuck I am, except now they kind of do because of you. Like, so do you think we should acknowledge that? And he's like, he seems mildly off-put that I keep mentioning that.
Wait, so you're meaning that you're gaining more, or
from this conversation? I'm getting more out of this conversation than you are.
Just by like work-wise.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Well, it's just money.
Just work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, or
yeah.
Are you talking also about just experience itself?
I'm getting
just
more
like experiencing.
No, I agree with you that there's a interpersonal and experiential aspect to every conversation, including this one. But I think it is immoral, on some level. The same way I think Dr. K should not pretend that he's doing therapy sessions.
Wait, what is immoral exactly?
I don't think we should pretend, or that you should pretend, that we're just two people having a social interaction. The same reason that you're saying, if you had three lunches with Dr. K, you might say that you are friends. But when I asked you if you're friends, you said no, because you've only interacted on stream. You can't make friends on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Because of
Not through a stream, though. I wouldn't say so.
because of the money and the
Yeah, that's true.
the power. There's a
But
power
if we had a
exchange.
conversation off stream,
If we had a conversation off stream, then we would be
Yeah.
a step closer to being friends. But right now, you're being nice to me. You're just giving me something. So it is
I don't think I'm giving
transaction.
anything.
You just rated me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's not that important to me. If it's not important, then like it's
that's not
nice.
true.
Like you're getting something,
that's
but for me, it's not like I'm sacrificing anything. It's for me, it doesn't like I'm not valuing that.
That's a
If that
lie.
makes sense. I value the conversation with you.
I don't know if you're sacrificing anything, but you're giving me something. Well, you could be doing something else with your time. You could have rated somebody else. You are giving me something, and it is transactional. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want in exchange, and I don't know even if you want anything in exchange. I guess, like you said, you'll show it to your editor, so maybe you'll get it.
That's what I enjoy. I like the experience.
Yeah, most people are not in a position of power to be like, you know what? I feel like having the experience of talking to X person, so I'll just message them on Twitter and find some time tomorrow. And and then we'll be talking. Look at that. I felt like talking to you, and then 24 hours later, here I am doing that. That's power. You're throwing your weight around.
Oh, because I have the privilege to talk to you, basically. Is that what you mean?
No. Not that it's a privilege to talk to me. Just that you could message.
You're saying that I'm using my power.
Yeah, you could message 99% of people on Twitch or Twitter, and then have them talk to you within a day or two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is transactional on some level, even and
level.
I find the way that you view it as you just like, no, it's just a nice thing where we're talking. That scares me in that Dr. K way.
In the Dr. K way that I say that I'm just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
I'm aware, of course. Like there's people watching.
And I think we should acknowledge that.
Yeah, of course, it's a thing. But I
think Destiny doesn't like it when I bring that up.
Huh? What do you say?
I think Destiny doesn't like it when I bring that up.
Oh, it's fine.
To say things that Destiny doesn't like.
I think for me, like how I'm happier is to not try to think about those things in life.
Right,
When
and
it feels that
I want to think about. I want to make you think about them. If we're being totally honest, that's all I can think. That's all I can talk about now.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about that.
I've latched onto it.
I think a way for me to feel like I'm not losing anything or feel like I'm giving away something is by appreciating I'm appreciating every single moment and experience that I have in my life.
But you are.
In a way. Like I learn things. So even if something bad happens, I appreciate that happening. Because if I do appreciate that happening, and I learn something from it, and it makes me feel something, that is a positive thing for me. That's like this is a way.
But still, it's still a transactional way
in life.
It's still a transactional way of viewing things because you're focusing on what you're getting out of it to make yourself feel okay about.
Yeah, but you're always gonna get an experience. It just happens all the time unless you're dead.
I
guess like when you're dead, huh?
Okay, I think. Based on your interaction with Dr. K and now this interaction, that you actually have a hyper transactional view.
Okay.
Of the world in which you are constantly getting fucked over, and you're trying to make yourself feel better about it. What I don't agree with, and I agree with Dr. K about that. But the problem with Dr. K is Dr. K's view is that you're actually getting constantly fucked over. And that there's some way that you can fix your life so you won't feel that way anymore. I don't agree with that. I also share some of this feeling.
Do you think that
I identify with that?
Wait, what do you identify with?
Feeling fucked over all the time.
Yeah, but how do you not make you feel that way? Because you're telling me
I'm not trying to escape.
Gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's always going to happen.
Okay.
I'm saying that you might just feel fucked over for a long time.
I think it's honestly because you kind of let it affect you in a certain way. I think it all depends
I
on like
don't
how
think
you
you
view
can
things.
control what affects you. I do let it
I
affect
think
me,
you can.
but
I
I
think
don't
you
think I
can
have a
work on
choice.
things.
Well, I don't think that ignoring things is working on them.
Not ignoring, but
I
just
don't.
putting
I
your
don't. I have
focus in a
no
different
interest.
direction.
Yeah, I have no interest. Okay, putting my focus in a different direction to me is
Yeah.
the same as ignoring. I have no interest in trying to view my life in a way that makes it more palatable to me.
What is the point of putting attention to something that is a negative experience for you? In all
Um,
ways, there's no positive traits of
it.
negative experience.
I don't agree. I think that feeling pain, one, can help you be more honest. Like if you're more aware that you feel fucked over by like conversations like this one, then like maybe you'll set boundaries around it, or maybe you'll be like, I don't want to talk for that long, or I don't want to talk at all. I think pain can lead you to making better decisions for yourself, and if not, at least I think it can allow you to have a closeness with yourself that's hard to have if you don't feel your pain or
Do you remember
anger.
what I said a little bit ago? When I said that everything is an experience and I enjoy it. So even if I feel pain, even if I have a bad day, even if something really bad happens to me, I choose to make it like, I don't want to say positive, but like I accept it more. And I'm just
I think there's
focusing less about the material things and I focus more about the experience that I have in front of me.
I think there's a inherent lack of acceptance in choosing to focus on the positive. And a thing that I
I
think
wouldn't
one
even say it's positive, I would say it's neutral. Kind of.
uh I think avoiding thinking about how transactional things are is and maybe Destiny feels this way too. Probably he does. Is probably just a way to cope with feeling constantly fucked over.
By not feeling anything, you mean? Like by not like
No, just by focusing on the good aspects of it. Just being like, well, I had a good yeah, like he might have leached a bunch of clout off of me, the fucking vampire that he is. But at the same time, it was a nice talk. Except now it's not even a nice talk. So I don't know what you're gonna
this is
say it
not a
was.
nice talk.
It's not nice. It's
This
probably
is not nice.
enjoyable on some level. I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think we're having a
I'm
nice
enjoying this
conversation.
conversation,
I am too. I just don't think it's a nice conversation.
but it's enjoyable. Can we use enjoyable in that case? It was an
Sure, but
enjoyable.
it is also unenjoyable aspects of it.
Well, it's not negative. Do you
Parts
think
of
this
it
is a
are.
negative conversation?
Some
Do you
parts
think
of it
this
are.
is do you think this conversation is doing harm to either of us?
Um, Probably, on some
In
level.
what way?
Um. Uh. How is this conversation harming you? Uh, I'm challenging your defenses,
Like
and
how
you're
I think about
challenging
things.
how you think about things, and you're basically saying like to me, um, that like life's too short to You're basically saying like I let myself be unhappy. Basically, you're saying like life sucks, and you just got to focus on the good parts, and like you tie that with you saying, do you help other people because you can't help yourself? You're basically saying that I'm depressed because I let
I don't
myself
know.
focus on it. You're saying I
I don't think
wallow,
so.
and I'm saying that you are in denial, and so you're attacking my worldview, and I'm attacking your, um, I guess what I see as defenses against pain.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's harmful, but it could be to
Can I
both of
ask you a
us.
very I'm curious. Now that you say that, oh, you're trying to like have this view of life being like try to make things miserable into a positive thing or something like that. Kind of something like that, something you said. What would you say is like the meaning of existing?
I don't think
Or
there
what
is
is your
one.
meaning? So what do you
Yeah,
think you do? Like what is stopping you from not killing yourself?
a strong biological urge to live. I want to live. I like being alive. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not meaning that keeps me from killing myself. It's that I don't want to
Mhm.
die.
What is it that makes you not want to die? What are the things? What
I
are the
like
feelings that you
existing.
feel? Yeah, why?
Uh, why do I like existing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that might be like the bottom floor of my ability to answer experiential questions. I
Because
think
you
I
don't know
like it.
why.
I don't. Uh, I, th- I mean, then I have to just say because I'm programmed to. I'm like a robot that wants to exist, and I
Hmm.
have evolved to want to exist. I just want to. I don't have an answer for why.
Do you think it's possible for yourself to control your experiences to make you feel like higher, or like better,
No, I
or
think you
more
can. I think
positive?
you can. No, I think you can control what you think about, but not what you experience.
So you
I
can't
think you can
say,
focus on different parts of your experience, but I don't think you can control
yeah.
how you feel.
So you
I mean,
think,
sorry. Go
hmm?
ahead.
So if there's a person that is not feeling any sort of urge of living, but still existing, still wants to try to fix something, still wants to change their life, what do you think they would do? Or like
Well,
what should they do in that
the
case?
urge to eat is an urge to live, and the urge to breathe, and the urge to drink water.
But if they're having a miserable, like they don't enjoy it,
It doesn't
they don't
matter. You're
enjoy
still
living.
breathing. Your heart's still beating. You can't even control how much you want to live. Like it's not conscious, but your body is you. That's you.
Hmm.
That's your heart beating. You want to live. You can fight it. You can kill yourself, but you have to kill yourself. You can't just stop because
Hmm.
mostly you want to live, even if you
Yeah.
think you don't. Okay, so what are you asking me? What should somebody do?
I think I'm asking you, how do you think a person can
How
get
do you
out of
how
that
do you stop
mindset
somebody
of
from
having a
killing
negative
themselves?
experience? Well, not killing themselves, but how can you stop
I
someone
get what
from
you're
living a
saying. You're
miserable
saying
life?
you're
How can you
suggest
change that?
right, that not by
Hmm.
focusing on the positive.
Okay.
Definitely
So,
by I would say if the
what-
person is at crisis, like they're on
yeah.
the edge of a building, then I do think some focus on the positive just to distract them for a second is probably worth doing. But
Hmm.
generally, I think if you're depressed because there are things about your life that you should change.
Yeah.
So I would encourage the person
So do you think
to
would
change
you
their life.
encourage that? Okay.
Yes, but the process of changing your life, I think, involves a lot of acknowledging your bad feelings, and that might even be the change that you need. And I think that can then inform other decisions that you want to make. I
Hmm.
think focusing on the positive is like trying to pilot a very delicate aircraft through a very craggly canyon with
I think
a
when I
blindfold on.
say that mean focus on the positive, I also mean that you're trying to change your life to become a more positive life. Like you change your job, you move somewhere else, you start a new hobby, or you change your group of friends. Like you
That can
continue
those
just
can
change
be okay,
things.
but those you can also be running.
So
You
do
could
you
be
think
running
people
in a
should
way.
just face it?
Well, I think no. I think there's situations you have to get out of, but I also think you'll recreate those situations with
Hmm.
nightmarish accuracy if you don't know why they happen in the first place.
Hmm. It's fun to talk to you. I think my point of living is that I enjoy experiencing things, even though I might be running away from something. I
Hmm.
think me running away and having a good time is more valuable than me trying to sit with dark thoughts.
I know.
That's how I like to live my life.
I know.
And you don't like that idea.
No. That's why our channels are complete opposites.
Probably, yeah.
You're like, come fly with me, and I'm like, come sit in my empty office, and I'll bleed on you.
Do you think either of them are a better experience? or just different?
No, I don't think that you should. I don't think anyone should constantly be focusing on like the harsh realities of their life 24 hours a day. There are aspects of my channel that are obviously meant to just be entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think we have our both have our place.
Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy talking to me?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Um, because you're quite resilient. Uh,
What's that word mean?
um, it's like not easily pushed around, not easily hurt or damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you get a
most
different feeling from the video that you saw compared to now?
I thought you were going a little easy on Dr. K.
Mm-hmm.
You're also younger.
Yeah, I'm 23.
Yeah, you're getting old.
I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You were
Uh,
36, right?
I'm 36. Yeah.
36, okay.
I done been old.
You've been
Uh,
old?
yeah. Um. Yeah, I think that I think you probably I assume that Destiny reminds you of the dark parts of things. He's
Like
kind of like
you,
he's like the dark half of the relationship. I would assume. I actually haven't really watched you guys interact, so I'm just guessing.
we're very
But I feel like
different.
yeah, I just feel like you probably find it useful to have somebody there who's like, you
The
know,
opposite.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I think we're kind of driving each other into our like directions. So I think I'm a little bit more like putting a little bit more light into his life.
and he needs
And I
that.
think yeah. And I
Yeah,
think what I need is that I need a little bit more dark reality
right.
so I can be strong when I face things.
Right, and so like it's like it's not often that I get to have conversations with people who want me to do that, right? And so like I know like intellectually you push against it, but like most of these fucking Twitch conversations are with very fragile people who
Mm-hmm.
need to be in control of the conversation and need to be dominant and need to push me around and then freak out when I resist it or they can't, and then have to go on a stream after and talk about what a fucking asshole I am for 3 hours. So it is refreshing, as it is to talk to Destiny, where that doesn't feel like that.
It's just the conversation.
I don't know if it's just a conversation, but
How is
yeah.
it not just a conversation?
Well, I just think that it's simple. There's a lot of complicated things going on at the same time, but
I guess.
um,
Do you find it
yeah,
hard to find people that are not like a lot of other Twitch people are? Like when they have a conversation, they're being really easily upset, and then they go on their stream and they're just being pissed, or they're complaining,
I don't
or
know. I probably should do more outreach, but like those are the people that find me for sure.
hmm yeah.
I do,
Is it
but
easy
yeah,
for you? Huh? Go for it.
I don't know. I think I'm in a circle of or like a I'm in like a little piece of Twitch that Destiny is the king of, and it's his and
Yeah.
then there's like his disciple. Actually, you know what? I'll say the women I talk to on Twitch, it's
Mm.
gone pretty well. Like like Stardust, Cherry, am I forgetting somebody?
Lauren.
Lauren.
Mm.
Lauren and I, yeah, I don't think of her as part of the I guess cuz most of them are liberals. Lauren and I definitely clashed. But it's still uh it was felt like a productive clash. Like it wasn't like a just pissing contest that devolves into circles of nothing. It felt like
Mm.
pretty raw and like meaningful to me.
Mhm. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll talk again.
Yeah, Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she know that?
Yes.
That's good. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
she will. I think she kind of has the same problem. I'm not sure if you have the problem, but it looked like it because I saw some tweets. I think she's having a hard time finding people that wants to talk to her, platform her. Yeah.
Right. That's like the monogamous relationship thing I was talking about. She's gonna have to come back to me because she'll have no other choice. I'll make sure of it. I'll run her out of this town if she doesn't come back on my Twitch stream.
You should try to talk to other streamers too. That's not just like where Steven is the king of these people.
Right, exactly. I think that's part of the problem.
Because those
Where
politics people are definitely. I don't have a lot of those viewers. I'm dating him, but I don't have a lot of his viewers watching me.
yeah, probably 90% of my viewers are also Destiny fans. So
But it's a good way to start.
absolutely.
If you want to reach out to people and collaborate.
Yeah, I don't know who to reach out to. I don't ever watched Twitch before, so I don't know who. Like I don't know who to talk to.
I think
Well,
people might reach out to you.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
As long
That'd
as
be
you're
easier.
making it clear that that's something you want, because a lot of people will have the fear of reaching out to.
Oh, well, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I mean, I get a lot of people reaching out who have like no channel and they're like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Do you think I could interview you for my first video? And like, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, this is my job. Like, if you work at Burger King and someone's like, hey, I don't have any money, but do you want to make me a hamburger? I was like, no, I don't.
What about if they are?
Starving.
What if you talk to them?
Yeah, so like
And then
for
they
this
have.
conversation with me, you see like you're being I agree if it's like a homeless person like me, then you're being nice to me. That's
I didn't
one
mean
thing.
that. I didn't mean
But
that
there's
way.
only you can only make so many. No, so that's fine. That's fine. I understand. There's only so many free
No,
hamburgers
I
you can
actually
give
did
out
not.
though.
I did not mean to. Like, I was not
It's
gonna say that.
totally fine. I'm
No,
not
no, no.
offended at all. No, I
I was
don't.
gonna say.
No, no, no. I'm not mad.
I was gonna say something completely different.
I'm not mad.
No, no, no. That's not. I
That's
was
fine.
gonna say, what if the person? Imagine if there is a homeless person,
You were gonna
and
fucking say okay. Go ahead.
and he is really good at making hamburgers. What if you let him work
Yes.
there? So what if you find
Well,
someone
then
that
it's an
is actually very talented and very
yeah. I see
interested,
what you're
and
saying.
you're actually getting something from it?
I'm not at Destiny's level yet though. Like Destiny is in a position where so like that's what he did, right? So the first time I talked to him, he was like, "Who's this fucker on Twitter?" Like, sure, whatever. And he brought me on. He's like, he does this thing where he just like is like, I'm not invested in this, but you know, if you say something interested on it, so he's like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" I'm like, well, let me like do my best, and so then I try to have a good exchange with him, and then like it went well and launched my career. But like I don't think I'm at the point where I'm like trying to like mine for interesting characters. You know what, I am a kind of on my more like when I interview people for like research videos and stuff. But those people don't want clout. Like they're not trying. Like it was very clear when I first tweeted at Destiny. Like I deserve some of the spotlight. Will you give me a chance? I don't think I'm there yet though.
You don't think
Where
you're good enough?
I'm not established enough to be like platforming other people. I don't think. My chat's saying, "Take care, buddy. Have fun. All right." Yeah. Love you, buddy. Take care. All right. Have fun. Be safe.
Wait, you're saying that to me right now?
No. I'm saying that's what Destiny says
Oh,
every
yeah,
time
that's
he
true.
talks. Yeah.
That is true. That is
That's his,
absolutely
like-
true.
Yeah. That's his parting words.
We were about to talk about something, or we said we didn't really know what to talk about, but we have.
We're gonna talk about
there's
my
certain
past
things-
relationships.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually just curious about. Do you feel like it's easy for you to find a romantic partner? that because you're very I'd say that you're a little bit of one of a kind. I think you can
Hmm.
agree to that too. I think you have a
What do you mean by that
different
precisely?
like I think you are one of those people that have opinions and thoughts very well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people might not understand those because they have never thought about things in a certain way as you do. I think you are very I think you have rules of how you want to live your life. So if you want to live with someone or date someone, they have to follow your rules. And I think those rules can be a little specific. And I think
Specific.
it seems like you're a person that is having a hard time doing it 50-50 on things. That's just a feeling that I get. I don't know if it's true.
A hard time. Do you think I'm trying to?
No, I think you're very
Do you think I'm trying
this
to
is
do
correct and this
50-50?
is wrong. So or
So
like
I'm
this is
not so
correct
I'm
and this is
having a
wrong.
hard time doing what you think I should be doing, basically is what you're saying. Well, I'm
No,
not
I'm
trying
not
to
saying
do.
that you
I'm
should.
not trying. Well,
I'm just getting
when
that
you
feel
say
for
I'm
you.
having a hard time,
Mhm.
there's a value judgment there that you think I should, that you think that I'm trying to do 50-50, or that you think I should be, and it's the second one, and I'm not trying to do that.
You're not
My
trying to do the 50-50.
No. No. My view of relationships is I will have my boundaries and I will do what I want to do. You do what you want to do. And when they clash, we will have an argument, which I will win, and then we will do what I want to do.
Mhm.
That's a joke. That I win most of my fights with Shaylin, but there are a lot actually that I don't win. There are a lot of times where
Really?
I'm like, yeah, but I don't. She was telling me this yesterday. She was like, I think when you take feedback, you do it so fast that people don't notice that you're doing it. So, and I think that happens when our relationship. So, like, it's like sometimes we'll be talking, and she'll be like, no, she'll be like, I think you're mean. I think you're being mean. I don't agree to this because you're being too mean. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right, okay. And I don't like to draw out the process of being wrong. So, like, as soon as I think somebody is winning an argument, I will immediately concede.
Mhm. You don't feel
And
bad about losing.
I do feel bad about losing. I just would rather get it over. Once I see I'm going to lose, then uh, I don't want to embarrass myself by prolonging it. I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, you're right. So, Shaylin, on the other hand, she will cling to a losing argument for hours or days in the most pathetic display of stubbornness. And it's like a horrific car crash that just goes on forever, and then she's like, okay, I guess you're right.
Do
So
you think
I
it's
think
because she has already realized and she's just being stubborn about it, or do
I
you
think
think
I
it's
think she just
because
has more cognitive dissonance about
Mhm.
things than I do. I think I'm
I
just
think
more willing to shove myself along with a realization.
mhm. Even though
So
it
no, I
sucks.
don't I don't agree. I don't like your compromise ideas. I
I
don't
think a
I don't
lot my point was that I think a lot of people are compromising. But you don't seem to be one of those people that do. But I do
No,
think
and
that
I and I
most
so I
people
try to
do.
get Shaylin to be less compromising, but it's not uncompromising men are pretty popular in my experience. So
Hmm.
I used to be more compromised. I would say that actually the more of an uncompromising asshole I am, the easier it is to find relationships. I think especially when you get older, like there's such a high value placed on anybody even knowing what they want. Like you see that in dating profiles. It's like, I just want a man who knows what he wants. I will be whatever you want me to be. Just have there be a thing that you want me to be, and I'll just be that. And I feel like that's
Hmm.
that my experience as I've gotten older is like, yeah.
Hmm.
And also like it's much easier to tolerate someone being an asshole like in an intimate relationship than it is on like a Twitch stream or in like a professional setting. So I would say romantic relationships are probably the area where I'm like the most successful at like getting people to like me.
Because you're very straightforward with what you want. Do you think that's
Yeah.
why? Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think
think
so.
do you find a lot of people that says that they can agree to it, but they think that you're gonna change your mind later because they already see positive aspects of you, but then they're
Yeah,
thinking, oh, he's gonna change.
yeah,
Do you
I
run
think
into
that's what
that?
happened. That's what happened with my. Well, it's weird. So my ex-wife,
Mm-hmm.
when we first met, she was like, you're a liar. You're fake. You think you're so honest, but you're actually fake. You don't express your feelings, and like if you don't express your feelings, you can't be honest. You just try to get people to like you, and I see through your bullshit. And she was like, you're a clown. You're just a clown who hides his feelings to get other people to like him. And I was like, I would like to date you. This is very useful feedback. And I became more uncompromising and more emotionally expressive. But part of why she wanted to date me, I think also was that I wouldn't burden her with my feelings too much, which I think she found overwhelming. She was going through a lot of her own stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And the more expressive I got, the more I burdened her and the more demanding I became until I think she had an idea of me that I would like kind of continue to be this like charming, likable guy, but that I'd grow a little bit of a spine, and then she would get the best of both worlds. She would have the people pleaser, but who had a spine, and with his spine would choose the thing I want most is to please people. I just think she had very unrealistic like fantasy about where that was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that's not what happened. I just became me, and the more boundaries I held and the more demanding I became, the more our relationship fell apart until eventually she left.
So you think that you basically just became too different and you both were very sure of what you wanted, but it was not what the
Yeah,
other
but it
person
was
could
like
give.
she wanted to fix me, but she overshot. She fixed me too much.
Oh,
So
so
I have
you
this
would
weird thing where
say,
it's like this big sad hole in my life, like this big wound of my ex-wife leaving me, but I also have to credit her with
building you
being
up.
yeah, being one of the main driving forces that made me into like a healthier person.
Now I'm really curious what you were like before that happened. Do you think that's like one big event in your life that changed you? Or like to that kind of taught you more about yourself to grow?
Uh yeah. Was I like before?
Yeah.
I was much less emotional. Well, much less consciously emotional. Um I just never talked about my feelings with anybody.
How old were you when she came into your life?
25.
Mm-hmm. It's like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I was I would make jokes constantly. Like I still make jokes, but I would make jokes like I also would obsessively talk about other people's feelings 1,000 times more than I do now because I didn't know I never knew what I was feeling, but I knew what other people were feeling, or I thought I did, and I would still want emotional intimacy. So the only way I was capable of intimacy would be to like process or try to process other people's feelings for them by only talking about them all the time, and then I would be in this like caretaker role, and I still fall into it in personal relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So you would
but
not just
before
like talk about
it
it?
was like
Yeah.
all I had. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Would you even like think about other people? Not just talk, but like
Oh yeah,
where
yeah,
your
yeah,
mind
exactly. I
would
would
go
yeah on
would
my
be
own.
always thinking about others. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like I would have a copy of their brain inside my brain, and I would just like be them. It's like I would just think about their problems, what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and like I would think about my own life. Like I knew there were a lot of things wrong with me.
Yeah.
But I did not know how to fix them, and I was way too scared to get help. I didn't go to therapy until I had to.
It sounds to me when you say that, it sounds like you kind of had the experience of like being a little bit of a side character.
No, because I was still always the most like
Main
bombastic.
character.
Yeah, it was like I was the intellectual main character, but an emotional side character.
Oh.
Like there was still a sense of like, what's Max gonna say next? Oh my god! But
Mm-hmm.
that was the worst part of it is that like when I first I had to like come out to my friends as like emotional. I had to like sit down each of them and be like, hey, I don't talk about my feelings ever, and I'm going to start. And it caused a lot of clashes because they'd be like, all you ever fucking talk about is yourself, because they would think that I was like really expressive,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't really expressive. I was like fake expressive. I was loud, but not about my feelings.
Wait,
So that
what
was
things were you saying in that case when they said that you were talking about yourself? What
my
things could that
thoughts.
be?
I
Just
would
your
express
thoughts
my
about
thought.
things?
Yeah, my opinion. So I was always very opinionated.
Mm-hmm.
I was never meek and quiet. I just wouldn't. I just couldn't be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so then when I told my friends like, "Hey, I'm going to start taking up more emotional space," to them they were like, "Jesus fucking Christ! Like you never shut the fuck up." Um, and it went really badly, and I lost like most of my friends.
Do you feel like you're not like that anymore?
Not like what?
Like being so
A little.
loud, talking about yourself or talking about others or talking about things, opinions that you say?
The part that's changed is that know what I'm feeling a lot more, and
Mm-hmm.
I keep an eye on myself in like a caretaking way, and
Yeah,
I express what I'm feeling. I still
I
talk
think
a
that's
lot.
good. Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks.
Especially when you do streams and stuff too. You get to talk
Yeah,
a lot. Mm-hmm.
you have to.
I like people that express themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's more fun. I think it's more interesting. A lot of people don't do that ever. Mm-hmm. What was I thinking about? About the past relationships. Do you think that one relationship was like the most, or like one of the more like meaningful ones?
My marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did the other relationships after that look like?
This is my first one, really. I did.
Oh, I guess it's fun.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I did date a girl who was very controlling, which was fun in bed, but became a little much otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of stalkery.
She was?
Yeah, like she would like look through my old Facebook pictures and like memorize everything about me. She was like a crazed fan, but I didn't have a YouTube channel or anything. It was just she was just a crazed fan of just me,
Of course. I think that
which
can
is was
happen.
yeah, which was kind of hot in a creepy way. Our creepiness was attractive, but as far as a relationship, it didn't go that well, and it didn't go that far. Like yeah, we're hanging out. Like also, I was still in the process of getting divorced for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of it, so it was like had a lot of like little mini relationships from like I don't know. I was because like my ex was like said she wanted a divorce, then said she wanted to get back together, and then would just like not talk to me for months at a time. So I was like I might be getting back together with my, and I waited around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very loyal. Um, and I embarrassingly and sadly was like, well, you know, she's just going through something. And then we finally had a couples therapy session where we were planning on getting back together.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I will only get back together with you if you promise to work on being a kind person in therapy.
Like you wouldn't be aggressive to her or to the person
I
that
don't
is the
know, but
therapist?
she said in your individual therapy, I need you to promise you're going to work on being a kinder person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, first of all, you can't have oversight over my therapy. Like, that's all. No, absolutely not. I would rather just like get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, that's the opposite of what I'm working on. I'm not trying to be kind. I'm not going to therapy to make you fucking feel like I'm nicer to you. Are you
Yeah.
insane? I'm going to therapy so I can stop like crushing myself to make other people like me or accept me. I mean, I like a lot of it was like I was going to learn how it's okay to be alone if the people around you just want, like, don't even want you. They just want this version of you that serves them. And that was the last time we ever spoke. Until I didn't hear from her for 8 months after that. She was like, well, she was like, she was like, I'll let you know, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8 months later, she was like, let's get divorced.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was like my last line in the sand that I drew.
Mm-hmm.
So but during that time, I was still dating other people in this very weird way of like, it's just kind of like dating other lost and confused people. Like obviously no one who was like, hey, I'm ready for a real relationship. Let's settle down. No one was going to come near me who felt like that. So there's a lot of like, people in similar situations.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Shaylin's the only like real relationship since my marriage.
And it's working good.
Working good.
Working good.
I don't think relationships can be that good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for on my scale, yes. But if you're like, it's we have a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want
I
to
don't think
make it
everyone has
sound.
problems.
I know, but when you say, you have a rosier view of the world than I do. So when you say everybody has problems, it means something different than when I'm like, we have we have
It means to me
problems.
is like you have problems, you solve them, you figure things out as long as everyone is kind of like, how do I say? I see it as like if you are dating someone, so I would say I'm dating someone that is very different from anyone else that I've ever dated or known.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, me and him are very, very different,
You're
and we
married.
stumble into problems.
I don't know
Huh?
if you know that. You're married, actually.
Oh, married. Sorry. When I say
That's
dating,
okay.
I think it's the same thing. It's just like, oh, we are together. That's dating.
Well, you might think
I
it's the
didn't know
same
until
thing.
today. I think someone told me like you're married. Dating is not married. Okay, okay, wait.
That's
I'm
fine.
married. What do you say? Dating in a marriage, whatever. We're together.
You're married.
Um, yeah, yeah, I'm married. I am married.
Okay.
I think it's normal with stumbling on things that is a problem as long as you can try to like find a way to
So I
live with
don't
it.
no, I don't want you. I don't want your rainbow shit. I'm saying it's a fucking
Mm-hmm.
nightmare.
To have a relationship. What do you do in that
All
case if
all
you think it's a
relationships are a
nightmare?
nightmare, and mine is absolutely no exception. Also, like people
Mm-hmm.
see my relationship. Like people sometimes are like, "Hey, like is this a skit? Is this like a?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys playing characters?" No, we're not playing
It's
characters.
real.
Yes, this is what our actual relationship is like,
Yeah.
and it is at times horrific, and
Yeah.
I don't want to. It'd be irresponsible of me to paint an idealized image of it, and I'm not going to let you do the same. So I love
Yeah,
Shaylin
sure.
very much. I hope we're together forever, but we've got a lot of problems,
Mm-hmm.
major problems.
That you don't think you can solve.
Some of them are not solvable.
Mm-hmm. But you would say that there are a lot of things that
No,
are
you would
positive
say
enough for
no.
you to
You
say,
no. you would say that.
Okay. So what do
I
you why
wouldn't.
do you date someone if it's not like there is not like a
I'm
positive
saying my whole
experience?
baseline for how good life is lower than yours.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's like that?
Because I'm right.
And I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Wait, do
No,
you mean like
you
my
know you
feelings
also
are wrong?
you know I'm
My
right.
experience is wrong? Wait,
You
about what?
you know
We're
that
experiencing different things. We have different filters of life.
no, you focus on part of your experience.
Okay. So you think that everyone experiencing is kind of the same thing, it's just like people are focusing on different things.
I think everybody knows that relationships are horrible. Yeah. We just pretend they're not. We focus on the good parts, and then we secretly feel ashamed that, like, wow, all these other people in their nice relationships, well, mine's a fucking horror show. And I'm here to say they're all horror shows. It's not. You're not alone. It's
Mm-hmm.
awful.
Do you think wait, why do you think you have this opinion? What do you think that comes from? Where do you think opinions come from in general? Why do you think you believe the things that you believe?
I think it's more of an outlook that you're talking about than an opinion. Like, why do I have this worldview? Because it's
Yeah.
true. It's obviously true. Like, everybody who knows anybody, like, I think at just a certain point, I was like, I remember being a teenager and in my early 20s, like, dating people and being like, wow, my relationship is like not, like, this isn't going well. This is like fucked up. And then I'd be like, well, compared to what? And I'd go through my mind, and I still kind of idealized my father. So I'd say, okay, my father and his wife, who I hate now and haven't spoken to in like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had my father and his wife have a good relationship. And then I'd be like, well, I already know from my, psychology training that I'm probably idealizing him because I don't want to face my relationship with him. So let's scratch that. So who else has a good relationship that I actually respect? And I'd go through my every person I know in my life, and I'd be like, none. Anybody I intimately know, I wouldn't want to be in their relationship over mine. That sounds way worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'd be like, and then I would go back to thinking like, well, my relationship is fucked up, and then I'd be like, compared to what? And then I started to realize I was comparing it to like movies
Mm-hmm.
or like stories or stories about relationships from people I didn't know well. But the closer you get to any relationship, the more you see like, oh, this is just as fucking shitty and horrible as mine.
Mm-hmm. Would you say it's better to not be in a relationship or better to be in one? Or not better,
I
but what
don't
do
think
you
it's
think is the
better. It's just
difference?
up to you. It's up to okay. The difference.
Yeah.
I like the intimacy and stability of relationships. There are, but I also, I just love Shaylin. Like it's not. Even if I didn't want to be in a there are times where I don't want to be in a relationship, but I still want to be with her.
Yeah.
Even if it's making me miserable. So I feel like it's complicated because you have a relationship to what you get out of it. Like, a blowjob's a blowjob, right? Like that there are functions that a relationship can fulfill that any person can fulfill. It's not super specific to the person you're with that you cuddle with somebody or that you
Yeah.
have somebody to spend Thanksgiving with or Christmas with or that you like we go on walks and it's like they're parts of that have to do with how I specifically feel towards her, and then parts of that are just like being in a relationship. And then
Yeah.
sometimes those conflict.
Yeah. That's why I think
That
people break up and some people start dating and then they realize they don't, it just clashes. Like you can really, really like someone, but you don't have the same goals in life and it's going to be hard to stay together.
yeah.
Like, why did you break up with the people that you broke up with?
I've broken up with a lot of people.
And you probably liked the people, but you probably did not, you just didn't, like,
Well, I
worldviews
think
did not go together.
no, I have a more psychological explanation of just like as I described before, I did not know how to build a relationship that had room for me in it.
Okay.
So it's inevitable that if that's how you function, you're gonna come to hate the relationships that you build because you don't know how to make one that is for you. So I
Hmm.
just never felt like anything was for me. So I would enjoy it. I would enjoy setting it up. I would enjoy getting it going. And by building this thing, I can get really like manic and distracted, and then look back and be like, "Oh, this isn't for me."
What do you mean by
I
building?
just like getting to know somebody, establishing communication styles,
Yeah.
just creating the relationship. I always really liked that part. But then when it got to the end, I would just look at what I'd built and see that there's no place for me in it.
Hmm.
I'd be like a parent to my partners.
You felt that way most of the time?
Yeah. It didn't feel like there was room for me in the relationship. It felt like I was supposed to just take care of them. And then, so then eventually I would start to crack up and like act insane and be like I'm going crazy. You have to make room for me. And then they'd be like, why are you screaming at me? And I'd be like, because I fucking hate you. And, and then they'd be like, well, this isn't what we agreed to. And I would just feel like I'm like suffocating, and then I would break up with them.
Oh, yeah. Do you think you might attract people that I think I
Yes.
kind of asked this before.
Is this a statement or a question? Why don't you just fucking say what you think?
I'm trying to say it. Hold on. Um, I feel like a lot of people that are very sure of what they want sometimes can attract people that does not know what they want. Do you feel like you've met people
Who's that
or
in your
started dating
relationship with
someone?
Destiny? Is Destiny the one who knows what he wants, or you?
Why do you ask me about my relationship?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I can answer it. It's fine. I'm just curious
You
why you
don't have
asked.
to answer it. Why am I curious? Because you could see it. You could see it either way.
Yeah, yeah. I
I guess I'm saying I don't think it's as simple. I think there's ways you could view your relationship where you're the anchor and Destiny doesn't know what he wants, and probably the other way is true too. I guess I just don't think it might not be as straightforward.
of course there can be like different. I mean, it's gonna be very hard for me to get into detail of every single thing that we're taught. Like if we want
Hey,
to dig into one thing,
hey, no,
it's gonna
hey,
be.
forget I asked. My point is that there are times where Shaylin is the anchor.
Mhm.
I reject your question.
Which one?
The last one.
The last one? Yeah. I was thinking.
I'm gonna have some water.
Yeah, sure, go for it. I think when me and Steven met each other, I think I was very like I felt happiness doing pretty much whatever. But I was also only 20 years old and he was 30. And he told me that you can do whatever you want, and I'll be happy with whatever you do. But the one thing that we're gonna do is that you will come and live with me. I'm not gonna go live with you. And I think I had an expectation of being able to do that. But then when I got to the place, I did not enjoy where I was at in the beginning of it. Yeah. It felt like it was very hard for me to like live the way I've always lived. And I think I got used to things that made me very happy. And then when a lot like when I noticed that I lived without a lot of things that meant a lot for me, I got um upset about that, or I felt unhappy that way. And I couldn't really separate. How do I say? I like I couldn't live the life that I wanted in the beginning when we started dating because of reasons. So that's why I asked. Like I felt like I was the one that was very like he was very like this is what I want, and for me at the time I thought, oh, I can do whatever. Now I think I'm more sure of what I want.
You are married.
Yeah.
You see yourself in Shaylin?
Mm,
That's what you're saying?
I don't know her.
That's what you're fucking saying. You're saying she's a confused little girl who doesn't know what she wants.
Not really. I was just asking if you stumbled
No,
into it.
she's fallen into a relationship with the Dark Lord. That's what you're saying.
No.
Well, it's kind of true.
That she has?
What do you think of Shaylin?
I don't know her. I would have
I
to
didn't
talk to
ask. I
her.
didn't ask what you know about Shaylin. I said, what do you think of her? That's what we're talking about. If we're going to
Um,
talk about Shaylin, we're going to talk directly about
we
Shaylin.
don't have to talk about it. I was just talking
With we're
about
already. I don't want to
relationships
see.
that you've been in.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to pretend we're not talking about her when we are.
I'm not talking about her.
You are.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you are.
talking about your past relationships.
No,
I'm
not
talking
really.
about
Not
people that you
anymore.
met that
No.
you.
When you said that, no. When you said that little story
Mhm.
about how you got into the relationship and you were unhappy, you weren't sure what you wanted. It was a story about you, but it was also dripping with Shaylin. And now
It
we
could
have
be
to.
anyone that you've ever dated.
Wow. Let's talk about it directly.
Hmm. Sure.
I know you have your opinions.
No, I'm trying to figure out how you
What do you.
work.
Well, I'm showing you right
Okay.
now. What do you think about Shaylin?
Um,
Take your time.
it's very hard for me to have an opinion about someone unless I've talked to them or like seen how they interact or respond to
You have
questions.
seen how we interact. That's why I'm
Not
asking
much.
you. Not
Not
much.
much.
Well, I could write a whole book about
It
Dr.
was
K.
also, I think the
So I
video that you
think
sent me was about, I think it was like 2 weeks after you guys met, which could also like
no, 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 no,
imply,
no, no, no. We were
huh?
talking about us. We were talking about a time 2 weeks after we met.
Wait, you were talking about, oh, something that happened 2 weeks after. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. In the
So
video, that
how long is, but that video is older, so I don't
not
know what your
really.
relationship looks like.
That video's like 6 months old.
6 months old.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of things could happen during 6 months.
Well, okay, motherfucker. Why don't you give me your opinion on 6 months ago Shaylin, who may or may not be remotely similar to current present day Shaylin?
She did not speak much from what I saw.
What do you think about that? Are you?
That she
Do you
didn't
not want to
speak
answer this
much?
question?
No,
If you
go.
don't,
I'll fine.
oh yeah,
I'm fine.
okay.
I'm being honest with you. I'm answering you honestly.
What do you think? Did you not have any?
But from that
Did you?
interview,
Yeah, from what you know of Shaylin, do you not have an opinion?
that she doesn't speak much.
What do you think about that?
Um, from what I saw in that video, it felt like you are the one speaking a lot
Yeah. Okay.
compared to her. Which so I can't actually judge if she's a person that speaks because I need to see her in other interactions to be able to judge.
She talks a
I
lot
can't
when
just
she's
see it.
mad.
Yeah?
Yeah, she can't. She won't shut the fuck up. Once she gets pissed, she'll just go on forever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I have not seen it. And the thing is that no matter what you say, I can take, as I said, I take everything with a grain of salt. So I can't take everything you say
I'm
fully,
not trying to
like I
change your
can.
opinion of her. I'm
Hmm.
asking you, do you see any similarities between your relationship and my relationship? Do you see any parallels? Do you
The
feel
parallels
any
that
do you feel any identification with
I think
being
you
a
and
younger?
Steve have similarities. I don't
Yeah,
know how old she is.
I think she's 16.
She's 16 years old.
No, she's 26.
She's 26. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 10 years difference as well. Yeah.
I think
That's from you, Steve.
I feel okay.
Mhm.
My chat is saying that I'm projecting. They always say that. So
Mhm.
let me ask you directly. I sense that you see similarities and
Mhm.
parallels between our relationships, and that you are
Mhm.
thinking about those. Is that true?
I think I do. I do see parallels between you and Steve. Yes,
So
that is true.
I'm not making that up.
No, not that one specifically, but you're. It's.
No,
It comes off
not
to me
parallels
as
just
your.
between not parallels just between me
Yeah.
and him, but between you and Shaylin.
No, I don't think. From what I've seen, I don't think it's similar.
Okay, my sense was that when you
Mhm.
were saying I thought I would just be fine going along and
Yeah.
living in
Yeah.
Steven's world.
Mhm.
And then I got there and I was just weeping with sadness. I
Mhm.
think that when you said, Max, you seem like somebody who's very uncompromising and has your way of life and your way of living, and other people have to come to your world, that there's a metaphorical similarity between
Mhm.
moving from another country, another continent,
Yeah.
over, and that Shaylin made the same emotional journey. She emotionally immigrated to Mac's world.
Mhm.
And then when she got there, she wept.
I don't know if she's upset. I can't know that.
You couldn't tell from the video whether she's upset.
It just didn't seem like she had the space to say things that she might have wanted to be said.
That might be part of Mac's world. That might be part of
Mhm.
why she is crying. I agree.
Okay. So do you think that there are similarities? Do you think that there's a
Obviously.
parallel?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course. I think I've just drawn it, but I was wondering if you were also thinking that. Or the only parallels you want to draw are between me and Steven, but not between you and Shaylin.
The problem is that I need to see more of her to be able to have an opinion about it. That's the problem.
Shaylin's much more open about her sadness, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
She's more willing to just be like a
Are you
sad
comparing to
fuck.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't think you would want to be portrayed the way that I portray her in some of my videos.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But I don't think it's because I am I think it's because I don't do that.
You don't do what?
I don't think I get sad like that. In that way. In that direction of like why I would get sad.
I think empty hopelessness is a threatening thing to you, and you wouldn't want to be filmed wallowing in it. And Shaylin is, she's okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you're saying there's no, you're saying like their relationships are similar. You and Steven are similar, but me and Shay, like, no way, like that crying bitch. I am not anything like her.
No, it's not like that. I'm not saying
I
it
would
that
need to
way.
see more. I would need to see more before I can really comment on that.
I
And
no no no. It's more that I don't, as I said,
I don't think
huh?
you're any better than Shaylin.
No, I'm not saying that I'm better.
Well, I resent the implication.
I just don't think that I cannot comment on myself being similar to someone that I have not seen much of.
Okay. Well, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Like learn about it or like see it for myself.
You don't have to
I would
comment.
love to. I don't have to comment
Well,
on
I'm
it.
sure you will see more. I would love
Yeah,
to. I would love to show the world more Shaylin. The
hmm,
world needs more Shaylin. Yeah.
that's nice.
But yeah, it would contradict your public image to post a video of Steven talking you out of, or talking you out of taking testosterone while you cry confused.
Hmm. I would probably not do that because it wouldn't be enjoyable for me.
Yeah. Well, that is a difference.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't see similarities in that way.
In that way, yeah.
Mhm. But I think it's because I'm probably more reserved.
Shaylin's weird because she's super reserved, and then suddenly like very not. It's very
Mm-hmm.
unpredictable what she's gonna be okay with like showing the world. She's very pent up, so like um, I think she sometimes uses me or my channel as like a pressure release valve to just like get all of her fucked upness out into the world, and then she can also kind of blame it on me and be like, Max made me do that, and then people say I'm abusing her, but she likes it.
She enjoys it. How do you know that?
She needs it. I don't know if she enjoys it. She needs it because she's so. She's probably watching this. Shaylin, you're so tense. You gotta loosen up. Just relax. Let it all out.
Do you think she wants that?
I think she needs it.
She needs it. Do you think she wants it?
Sort of.
She
I think
sort
it
of
would be
wants
better.
it.
I
Why
think
do
it
you
would be
say
good
that?
for her to take more ownership of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you
That's
ever
what I
feel like
want.
it
Because then
might be?
I don't like being called abusive. I'm not, like, it doesn't, like, haunt me exactly, but I don't like it. I don't like that everybody thinks I'm abusive. Do you think I abuse Shaylin?
I can't speak for something that I don't know.
Motherfucker. You're
I can't.
if I punch her in the face right in front of you, are you going to be like, well, I can't, I haven't, I would need to see more.
Yes. Always. I would need the whole story why. Oh, absolutely.
My point is that I'm asking you what you think, not what you know. I know you don't know the answer, and I know
You
that
mean that if I
we're
just
going to
like
take it all.
super analyze the situation, I would just like take it from like this is the only thing you could do and you need to answer it?
You don't know. That's not the situation. The situation
Okay.
is I'm asking you what you
Hmm.
think, and if you want to say what you think, you can. Do you not want to say what you think?
What was the question again? Say it one more time.
Do you think I'm abusive to Shaylin?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Okay. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate it when people don't want to answer something but then they pretend that they are. It drives me insane when somebody says they're doing one thing and they're doing another.
I think
Like, just say
whenever
no.
yeah, I think I try to give an explanation of why I don't want to answer something.
I don't need I already know why you don't want to answer it. So you don't need to
Why is
explain
that?
it. Um, I think there's a few reasons. One is that the answer is leaning towards yes, and you don't want to say yes if the answer is no, but you also don't want to say no and then have the answer be yes. So you're kind of going out on a limb and
Because I
don't
want
really
to be
give up.
right or wrong, or like I don't want to be
Well,
correct or
it's a
incorrect.
bad thing to be wrong about. Either way, it's not good.
If I
Two,
did think you were abusing her, I would say it.
y-
But as
y-
I said, I
well,
need
I
more
think I
context.
think yeah, and then I think you also
That's
know
the
what it's like
thing.
to have people speculating about your relationship, and so you probably don't want to participate in that too much, which is fair, even if I'm asking you to. I probably
Yeah.
don't even really want you to answer the question. I'm glad you're not answering it.
Really?
Yeah,
It's not just you, it's also that there's a third or yeah, third person
yeah. I know that
involved
it's
that I
out of
don't know.
concern. It's
And
out
I
of
don't know
concern for
them.
her. Yeah. I appreciate that too.
Hmm.
Anyway, I felt like I had to know the answer to that, or know that I can't know the answer to that before I finish the sentence. I don't like being called abusive, and so for me, if Shaylin would own more of the darkness in our relationship, instead of it looking like I'm just like projecting it onto her, or pulling it out of her against her will, or otherwise like mind raping her on camera, I think that that would be nice for me.
If people did
And
not think you were abusive.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So this is how I see it.
Okay.
I think that if there's two people doing something together and they're both adults, I think both of them have responsibility for their own lives.
I completely
I
agree,
don't,
but then we
yeah,
need a new definition of abuse.
yeah. Because if someone,
I agree with that, like, from one point of view,
but I
but
would
then that,
also need more context, like why is, if it
yeah,
was
I'm
the
not,
case that someone was abused,
when I say
why are they
abusive,
sticking around?
yeah,
Hmm.
when I say abusive, I don't mean do you think she literally can't escape our relationship. I think it's obvious that she could.
Okay. Yeah.
What I more mean is, do you think that the perception is that I have mentally trapped her, or that I am gaslighting her, that I am tormenting her, or otherwise psychologically holding her hostage somehow.
Hmm.
And I think if she were more openly expressive of her darkness, then that perception would not be there.
Okay. So you mean that if she spoke more about how she was feeling
Well,
about herself,
she certainly gets the point across, but she gets it
yeah.
across in a way that makes me look like a monster.
Oh, okay. Does she talk about you with other people much? Do you know that?
Yeah.
What
You
does
mean
that
like
look like?
in our life? I mean, I assume
Yeah, like if she talks to
I
her
think she
friends
mostly,
about you.
yeah, she complains about me.
Okay.
She's like, he's an asshole. Oh no, I think it's more nuanced than that. But
Hmm.
I think
Does she
mostly
have similar? Sorry, go for it.
mostly when we talk about each other, it's to complain about each other.
Yeah, I think most people do that.
Yeah.
Um, Whenever me and Steven have problems and we feel like we want to talk to someone, usually I want to talk to someone about whatever we're going through because I don't want to feel crazy
Uh huh.
about something. But sometimes talking to other people about our problems, you can say things that makes the other person not like your partner, right?
Uh yeah. So that's one of those areas where the unrealistic expectations of relationships really piss me off. Like
Hmm.
I don't really confide in people who are gonna do that. I confide in people who know that relationships are awful. And so when I say something's awful about mine, they're not like, "Oh my god." They're just like, they can understand in the context of like of knowing that relationships are hard and terrible, instead of that they're supposed to be perfect, and I'm revealing that mine's like broken somehow. I really don't like
Hmm.
that. I don't like the response of like, oh, she's such a bitch. Like I don't talk to people who
But I do
think like
think
that.
people probably get that idea of it looking that way because everyone is expecting a relationship to have this sort of perfect sort of image, right? That
Yeah,
you
it's
were
very
talking about
constricting.
earlier.
It's very isolating.
Hmm. So it's very hard for your point to come across or like your view of it if people cannot understand that that's something that you view as like this is how it is.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to be
Hmm.
careful who you
Talk to.
yeah.
That's probably why a lot of people, when they see videos of you having fights or conversations or
Well, because
arguing
they're
as a
used to
negative thing.
idealize. I think there's also an assumption of like, if you're
Yeah.
showing this in the video, then the shit not in the video is probably 10 times worse, because that's how most like content creators present themselves in the best light possible.
Hmm. Did she ever do any of those sort of things before she met you? She would put out videos of having conversations, or is
No,
she similar to you?
she's a very private person.
I would say that's, how do I say? The things that you guys do together, putting out is definitely not making it private.
No, agreed. Yeah, that's all. I'm the one. She accepts that my self revelation is going to catch her in the explosion. As I blow myself up on the internet, that she is going to have to be blown up as well. But I don't think that's her. That's not her current uh, form of like artistic expression. It's not. That's not where she's at.
Hmm.
She has a
Wait, you
comic
just said
strip.
that.
She does draw a comic strip about our lives.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Does
She
she
she puts
is
them
that
on
like a
it's on Instagram and Twitter.
That's cute. Do you have
Yeah.
like links to that in your chat
No,
or anything?
I could put one
You
there. I
should.
feel like somebody who knows it will put it there.
You should have
Yeah,
her on
is it
stream
have
if
her
she
on
wants to.
stream?
Hmm. I think so.
Right now?
Anytime.
She's
I'm
gonna
fine with
need
whatever.
she's gonna need some time to prepare for that. I don't think she'll want to just come on stream.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you and her could make it for an interesting stream.
If I talk to her alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think that?
I can pop in every once in a while and say, "Don't let her mind fuck you." Why? I don't know. I just
I'm
would be
just
curious to
curious.
see what happens. I'm curious too.
Do you think that we're similar?
I think that I see the similarities in the dynamics that I said. Yeah, but
What are those?
she will hate your positive outlook on things. Like I don't like it, and I'll push against it. She'll hate it.
You'll hate
She
it?
doesn't. She doesn't like that shit.
Okay.
She gets really upset.
Is she upset right now? If she's watching this?
She's usually upset
About
about
things in
something.
general?
I don't think she'll be upset about the things I'm saying about her now. But
Okay.
well, like she and I are both just upset people. I think, you know, if you
Is
want to
that a
take a
nice
stab in
feeling?
the dark of if we're upset, the answer is probably yes.
What do you feel upset about?
Um, you have to be more specific.
Why do you call yourself an upset person?
I guess what I'm really saying is that I'm in touch with my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I think life is very upsetting.
What do you think about death?
I think it's the worst thing.
The worst thing?
Yeah.
Is there anything that is not as worse as life and death?
Well, death is the worst part of everything. Like death is just you have to lose everything that you like. So even if there are good things, death is part of them, and it's the end of them. So whatever you like, you lose because of death. So that's why I think it's the worst.
Do you see life as like, here's things, here's like more, some, like, do you think something is better than nothing? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had a different view? Or have you always
No.
felt this way?
No. My views on death have not changed since I was like 5.
Mm-hmm. Are you scared of death?
Yes.
How scared?
10 out of 10
How often do you think about death?
every day.
What does it make you feel?
Terror,
Mm-hmm.
loneliness,
Do you ever feel like, huh? What do
loneliness
you
and
say?
terror.
Loneliness, yeah.
Yeah.
And you've had the same view your entire life.
Yeah.
What do you think helps? Like when you feel that tired, do you think anything helps or do you just deal with it? Or what do you think makes it worse and better about that one specific feeling?
Well, death's weird because other other problems or fears, the more you think about them, the better they get. But the more you think about death, the worse it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't really accept it or wrap your mind around it. So the longer you think about it, it's just a bottomless pit of fear that you can keep swimming down into forever if you want.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what you felt like before you started thinking about this? You said you were like 5. Do you remember
Yeah,
before,
my
like how you felt
my
about things?
my no. I think my consciousness formed at the same time as my awareness and fear of death.
Mm-hmm. So you don't remember the feeling of not having to deal with that?
No.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not constant. Like there are times where I'm like in a good mood or something, I'm happy about something, and I can even think like, wow, I'm not afraid of dying right now. I don't I don't care right now. But
Oh, that's
I mean,
interesting.
I know it's still there, but it's like
You're distracted.
I'm distracted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
And
the
that's
thing is
running
that there's
away as well.
it is running away, but there, to me, death is different because there's no solution anyway. There's there's nothing. the The fear of death can be a good motivator for making sure that you're living your life in the way you want to.
Hmm. Of course.
And so, in that respect, I think it's very useful. Where I think some people don't believe they're going to die, and then they make decisions as if they're going to live forever, and then they get older and realize, I'm not going to live forever. I wasted my life because I was too scared
Yeah.
or too lazy or whatever. So I
Hmm.
think fear of death is useful, but because it's so unacceptable, it can also be incapacitating. So, just like any other feeling, I'm not against distracting yourself from negative feelings if you know that you're doing it, and especially if it's intentional.
Hmm.
And it's not like debilitating you. I mean, to some extent, it's, you know, it's a balancing act.
Hmm.
I probably
So wait,
spend
you
more
said
time thinking
something
about
about
death than most people.
you spend more time thinking about death?
Than most
Is that
people,
what
I
you
think
said?
so. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I don't think a lot of people think about it because a lot of people believe that there's an afterlife.
I don't
And
believe
that's
that.
what that there's an afterlife.
I don't think they believe that.
Oh, what do you think they believe?
I think they just try not to think about it.
Do you think that's good?
I think if you threw somebody who believes in an afterlife off of a skyscraper, they would shriek on the way down, just like a monkey or anybody who doesn't believe in an afterlife. So that
Mhm.
the fact that everybody acts the same when they're about to die makes me think that we all kind of know that we're just gonna die.
Oh, I see. So you said before that running away from your problems or your, I want to say negative feelings is bad, but running away, not thinking about death is probably more like it's better than thinking about it all the time.
Um, it's not that running away from your feelings is always bad. It's that always running away from your feelings leads you to have blind spots and make big mistakes, I think. And especially where you will get caught in patterns and cycles that you're not aware of your participation in. Death is an unsolvable problem. So
If there's a solvable problem, you should try to solve it.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that I think if you don't try to solve a problem, you won't solve it, obviously. And I think that
Mhm.
the more you placate yourself and the more you focus on the good things, the your moment to moment may be happier, but in the long run, you also run the risk of not addressing things that need to be addressed.
Mhm.
Death, I think the risk is if you ignore death too much, you might make mistakes in like planning out your life because it is real and you're going to die. And as that becomes more real and obvious to you, you may regret the things
Yeah.
that you let slip by.
I think you need to make me understand what you mean by what could those problems that's solvable or like that you need to address, what could those be? If you could like tell me about a story about a person that is running away from their problems or running away from their negative feelings versus a person that is facing them. I need to like see that difference
Yeah, I can
if you
use
can.
myself as an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
So
And also a person that does not do that, that is actually running away, like me. Like you would call me a person that is running away from addressing
I
my
don't
negative
know.
thoughts.
You are not totally honest about how much time you spend thinking about negative things. So your presentation is that you
Mhm.
focus on the light side and that you're very carefree and lighthearted. That's not entirely true. So you're very guarded about what you actually think about, my senses. So I don't know how true this is, but I can say that
Do you
like
think you could ask me questions that makes me talk about those things? It might be the case that no one has ever asked me the right questions to get that out of me.
I think not just talk about them. I think that you probably think about them more than you let on. So if we're talking about like Melina, the character, as you present yourself like on the internet, at the carefree, let's focus on the good things because we don't want to get bogged down in the bad things. That person that you're presenting is more avoidant, but I think the real you, I think you probably think about negative shit a little more than you are expressing in this conversation. So for
Okay.
me, I said I was too scared to go to therapy.
Mm.
I knew that going to therapy would destroy my relationship with my father. And I really didn't want to do that. I really wanted to save it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And like I felt like obligated to be in my place in my family and in my friend group. I just knew that if I start going into what I feel, everything's going to fall apart. And it's going to hurt. And I wanted to just like think my way out of it. And just like find a way to just intellectualize my way through my life. But the more I did that, the more isolated I became. Until I was doing like insane shit in my relationship. Like slamming on the accelerator in arguments with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
When I was driving. And I would be screaming at each other. There's one time where she tried to get out, and that she was like trying to stomp on the brakes while I'm driving so she can get out on the highway. Like, just stuff where I saw myself like, oh, I'm actually losing my mind, and I'm putting my life and other people's lives in danger. Like that wasn't like a regular thing, but it happened. And like you can't express your feelings with your car. That's insane. And I just kept having this thought of like I'm gonna die. Like I'm going to not kill myself, but I just feel like I can't do it anymore. I just can't do this anymore. And then I still kept doing it for more months. And I tried to find compromises that would make it so I could not tear everything down, but like be myself a little bit, and like maybe it would give me enough just air to keep going, and then things would be okay for a little bit, and then I would just be starving again and dying again, and I just didn't want to let everything fall apart because I knew that's what was going to happen. And then there's this other thing of like maybe with my ex, like maybe if she can grow with me, maybe I can wait. If I can just hold it together for another like 6 months or a year. And I would say to her, like, when do you think you'll be able to empathize better with me? When do you think you'll be able to like listen to me? Because you're mean every time I talk about my feelings. You're sarcastic, you roll your eyes, and if I get too mad, you walk out of the room. And then I'm like dying. Like, when do you, and she'd be like, well, I think in 6 months, I'll be able to really listen to you. And then I'd be like, okay, just 6 more months. I can do that. And then of course, like nothing would change, or the change would be so incremental that it wouldn't make a difference. And then I finally just couldn't do it. I just started saying no to things. I started demanding that I be allowed to talk about my feelings and say like, I can't continue the relationship if I can't express myself, and like, I need you to learn to empathize with me. We started going to couples therapy, and it all fell apart very, very quickly, and then she left.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had addressed these things when I first started thinking about it, at like 23.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of, I think 23 is the first time other people, I had, or I have a friend who I knew, we met around that time, and we used to play Mortal Kombat 2 a lot on PlayStation 3, and I was so much better than her that like I have double flawless her with my eyes closed, literally. And one time, like, we still played all the time. I would just like win 99% of the time. And one time, she was like begging me to go to therapy, and I said, if you beat me in Mortal Kombat, I will go to therapy. And she beat me. And as soon as she won, I just said, I'm not going to therapy. I can't. And then like her interpretation was that I let her win because I knew I needed to go. And then also my lawyer in college told me that I had to go to therapy. And
What do you think
like
was the main reason for all of these events? Like why they told you to go to
they
therapy?
could just tell that I like didn't know myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, maybe there's a way to like skim through the rest of my life without ever having to really lay all this out and really see how I feel about anything. And there is. I see people do it all the time. But I failed, honestly. I tried. That's what I wanted, and I just couldn't do it. I just cracked up and like flipped out instead. Mm-hmm. And so if I had addressed those things at the time, my life, my career would be better. My life would be better. I would have been able to find Shaylin or a relationship more like what I have with Shaylin at a younger age, instead of having to like get divorced and like go through that. Like my life just would have been better. And I'm not saying like I wish I could go back and never meet Shaylin or anything. Like or that I wish I didn't have the career I have now. But my relationship with myself would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my example of like knowing you have a problem.
Yeah.
Knowing you have pain, ignoring it, and being blinded by wanting to just survive.
Mm-hmm. I think I have a different. There's like I think I do agree with what you're saying. I think it's better to accept what you feel about something and not see it as like a negative thing or try to run away from it. I don't think I do run away from things, but I do think that I know what I want and I know what I enjoy doing and I go for those things.
So you have it all figured out.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Right now I feel so, yes.
I think that's a bunch of horse shit.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask me questions then.
No, I don't want to try to pick you. I don't want to try to pick you apart. But I must state that when you look at me and say, yeah, I heard your story about your life, but I have mine figured out, I don't believe you.
Not like that. Or like you asked me if I have stuff figured out.
I did.
It's not like I was
summarizing it. I know, but I want you to say it. I want you to say it so that I can say I don't believe you. I don't think you do have it all figured out.
Why?
I don't want to attack your life. I don't want to attack your narrative of your life. That's not what we're here to talk about. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't. That's not what we're doing.
Okay.
You know, like, if you want to call into my advice and confessions show, I'll attack your narrative about your life.
But not right now.
No, you have to ask, and not in the moment like this. I don't
I'm
think
just
it's
trying. I'm just curious. I'm curious why you think
either
that's the case.
either I will succeed and make you question your entire life in real time, and you'll freak out, and then I will feel like I did something unethical, or I will fail and I'll look stupid.
You're scared
Or
of
I'll
failing.
fail and you'll look stupid. I just don't like I don't like it. I don't like it when someone's like try to tear my defenses down. I don't want to.
What do you mean by that? What's that mean?
I don't
Like, do
like
you
it when
think it's a
someone tell
defense
I see it as a defense.
from you
I
when
see
you
that
tell
you
me?
no, I see the way that you view your life as guarded, and you're telling me to try to rip it apart in front of you, and I don't want to try. I'm saying no, Melina. No,
We're not
I
talking about
won't.
me.
We can talk about you. I just don't want to talk about
Mm.
you that way.
Okay. Sure. Um, I feel so. I feel so. I feel like I'm having issues expressing how I think and feel about things to make other
Yeah,
people understand. You say that you understand me like that. That's the feeling that I get from you.
I think I do.
Yeah.
There's a lot about you I don't understand. I'm just saying that I feel like I have a decent picture of like
What's going on?
some parts of how you operate.
Steven says the same thing. He says that, oh, like I understand, but I don't get the feeling that anyone understands me ever. And it's not me just saying things to come across in a certain way or anything like that. I do think that I'm having a hard time finding people that understands the way I view things. So it's very interesting when someone else says, I understand you, but they can't actually tell me what they understand. That I genuinely, honestly feel like that's me. That's why I'm curious. Because usually no one ever tells me what they understand.
Dr. K seemed to think he understands you.
I need to talk to him again to know that for sure. Because I think what
Well,
we
that's
were
what he
talking about
said.
in that conversation, that he
He was
understands
very
me.
yes, he was very straightforward. He said, "You are a goddess mother. You're a sponge. You soak up other people's feelings. This is not necessarily a bad thing. You're
Mm-hmm.
very empathetic."
Yeah, there's like, but that's just like one little part of you. It's
And
not
then
like
he
it's like the whole
and
thing.
no, then he asked you about your
Mm-hmm.
childhood, grabbed a story from it where you said that your mother dumped her feelings on you,
Yeah.
and pushed away your father by being too like depressive and expressive.
Mm-hmm.
You felt you had to take care of her. And then he tied that back into now you feel like you have to take care of Steven by allowing him to have this non-monogamous relationship structure that actually hurts you. You believe
Mm-hmm.
that all things are about sacrifice and being hurt, and and then he told you a story about two Hindu gods, and one of them lives a good life, and the other lives a moral life of taking care of people and self-sacrifice, and the other one lives a happy life that involves kind of cutting corners, and then says to you, he says, "My mother told me you can either live a good life or you can live a happy life," and then he says to you, "I think that you're choosing to basically spend your life in service of other people to make them happy."
Yeah.
So I don't think it's I I he summed you up, and
I don't think that's just me. I think that's a very small part of like everything that you think in existence.
everything that what?
I don't think that's like all of that is just me. I think there's more to it. I think there's like more to my experience of life than it
I don't
is
think it's
just
you at
that.
all. I think he's just talking about himself.
Oh.
I don't agree with his view of you. I'm just saying that he
Yeah.
had a short conversation with you, asked you for one story. He had a outcome,
Yeah.
a point he was trying to make, and it's like you can just scrape for some stuff, put it all
Mm-hmm.
together, and then say, well, here's what the Hindu scripture says.
Mm-hmm.
Stop letting your fiance run around on you, and then you'll be happier.
I don't agree about. I don't agree about. I think what he was explaining was something like a little part of me that was a little strong at the time, not completely correct. But if you just summarize things and you look from like the cover of a book or you look at the summary of things, I think there's like deeper, more like other things into it. Um, I do things I think that that's a part of things, but I don't think it's the whole thing. No, I don't think so. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it is either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying you were
I'm
saying that
curious.
people don't think they understand you, or that they don't often say that to you. And I was thinking I've seen somebody say that to you.
Yeah,
You didn't push back.
why would I?
Well, that's one thing I understand about you.
What do you mean?
That you when
What is
somebody
the
says something
reason?
when somebody says something about me that I don't think is true, or even about themselves that I don't think is
Mm-hmm.
true, I feel compelled to say, I don't believe you. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that's true. You are fine and dandy letting the person assume that you agree, or that you believe what they're saying, or that you're on board with what they're saying, or whatever. You keep your cards close to the vest.
I just don't think
I don't feel
I am
comfortable
a person.
if
No, no,
somebody
no. So
thinks
here's the
if
thing.
somebody thinks I think something I'm not thinking. I don't like that. I gotta tell them like, hey, whatever you're assuming I'm
Yeah.
going along with, I'm not going along with it.
Have you ever had to think a bit about something? Or do you feel like you know exactly straight away what you think? Or do you listen to someone
You're
and then you
no
let it
no no
sit with
no
you for a
no no
bit?
no no. You're being a perfectionist. The problem is that's not when I say I think something. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying I think this, and if I continue to think about this for 100 years and nothing else, I will still think the same thing. That's not my threshold for whether I'll say something out loud. I am saying this is my current experience right now. I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
I'm right. I'm saying I just think this. Often I
Mm-hmm.
look back at like my conversations with people, especially on Twitch where there's pressure to think quickly, and say like now I don't exactly think the same thing, but that's what I was thinking at the time. And I think to have an honest conversation, I want to say what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
Your your threshold for saying something out loud is, am I sure? Am I still going to
Yeah,
think
and
this
I feel like
later?
I need to know if I'm gonna have an opinion, if I'm gonna publicly say something, I feel like I need to have a thought of like I need to have thought about something for a while to actually make it my opinion and
Uh,
not just say
uh,
something that
right,
feels
and I'm
comfortable in the
I'm
moment.
I'm more giving a stream of conscious and experiential window into what I'm thinking as I'm
So
thinking it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you want me to express and open up and exactly say exactly what I'm thinking through when I'm making a
I'm not saying I
decision.
want you to do that. I'm just saying that's a
No, but you
difference.
prefer it.
No.
No?
No, I'm not even saying I prefer it. I'm just saying that is a I'm saying you might like it. I recommend it. But I'm not saying that you should always do that. Obviously there's a lot of downsides to the way I
Yeah, let me
communicate.
see if I can do it. I want to see if I can.
Okay.
If you ask me something, I'm gonna see if
No.
I can explain.
This is what I'm saying. This is another thing. So in my
Okay.
example with Dr. K, I'm saying you'll passively allow somebody to think something that you don't actually think.
Okay,
So
so what could I do now?
Dr. K thought that you were agreeing with him. He thought
You
he was
think so?
talking, and so I already know 2 years later you still have a non-monogamous relationship. Dr. K genuinely thought that with his use of Hindu scripture and his tying your crying face now to the image of you crying as a child, that he had proven to you that you have to tell Destiny to keep it in his pants in order
Hmm.
to not hurt you anymore. He thought he had tied it all up and you were going to just become more conservative like he is and just more traditional.
So,
He
what
thought
do
he'd
you think
proven
was
it to you
going on?
and you let him think that.
Well, I don't think I really care much about what other people think about me.
Yeah, that's it. That could be part of it. I don't know why you
Mhm.
do it. I just know that someone can have the experience
Why
of
is it
think of.
important to me? Why would it be important to know or like to
It's
really care
important
about what
to
other?
me. It's for I guess for the purpose of just like interpersonal
Yeah.
intimacy and honesty. It's important to me for people to know whether we're on the same page or not. And so I clash with a lot of Twitch people about this issue where they'll say
Yeah.
something and I'll say like I don't believe you. Like, and I'm not saying we don't have to rectify this, but
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is wrong or a lie or stupid
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
something, and like I just don't believe you. And so I almost compulsively need to tell people where I'm at in the conversation. You feel no such obligation or desire. You're like, whatever you think I'm thinking, whatever you want to tell yourself I'm thinking. You want to tell yourself that you just talked me into a monogamous traditional marriage. Go ahead, you can think that. It's not true, but whatever. And so it's very weird watching Dr. K. I mean, and like the only reason I knew he was failing is because I know what happened afterward. Like
Hmm.
I know that you didn't demand this.
Yeah. Why do you
So
think I didn't? What do you think was going on in my mind in that moment?
okay, do you see how you're? Um, my point is when
Hmm.
you say I'm going to start being open in stream of consciousness, and your next thing you say is ask me a very specific question, and I'll see if I can answer it. You're already
Hmm.
failing.
Okay.
That's not speaking freely. That's you asking me what I'm ready to hear and to direct the conversation. It's like you're tiptoeing around, and there's a part of tiptoeing around that's good for you, but there's also a part that's good for other people where like I don't have to hear anything I don't want to hear, I guess, because you'll just let me think whatever I'm saying is true.
Oh, so you're trying to make me say something.
I'm not trying to fucking make you do anything. I'm just pointing out a
Okay.
difference in our communication styles.
Okay. I think what I am doing when I ask questions is that I try to figure out like I try to understand what you're saying, like where you come from. I think I'm trying to figure that out usually. That's why I ask things. Not because I
Yeah.
want to turn around or avoid something.
Do you agree that it
Hmm.
is much more possible for someone to have a conversation with you and leave the conversation than it is with me and leave the conversation not only not knowing what you think, but actually thinking that you think something that you don't think?
Oh, if that happens.
Do you think that's more likely to happen to you than it is to happen to me? Like, I feel like most people who talk to me leave the conversation with a pretty clear
Yeah.
idea of
Hmm.
of where I was at.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Hmm.
So that's that. I'm just saying it's different, and that there's good parts
Hmm.
and bad parts of both.
Yeah. I think I'm more guarded, probably.
Yeah. Uh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Probably.
I think I'm more guarded, and there's also parts of there's things that I don't have a strong opinion about. There's like things that I haven't thought about that much that I need some time to think of before I actually can feel that one specific thing. Or do you think I have everything figured out?
I no. I think you're saying that I run my mouth too much.
No,
Yes.
I think you've had more
Yes.
time to think through things
Oh, because I'm
than
older.
I have. Yeah, I think
You
so.
so
Like
you think when
I'm
I was
only
20? You
23.
think yeah? You think when I was 23, if somebody brings up some topic, I'm like, well, I need to think about this before I can give you an opinion. No, when I was 23, you show me a 5-second video of a couple and ask me if I think they're abusive, I'd be happy to give you an answer.
Okay. Then I guess that's the difference between us.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't like when people say things that they just heard someone else say. I feel like a lot of people copy answers.
Yeah.
That's something, especially on Twitch, I feel like a lot of people have opinions that's not very well thought of. So for me, I really value when I can tell that someone has actually thought about something or actually has like their own. For me, it takes a little bit more time. to get my answer out or like what I actually think about something than just saying something that I've heard like sounds good. So if you show me a video that looks pretty brutal and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't look normal, what I mean by normal is a lot of people not used to this sort of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm just gonna copy whatever they think or what the comments say and I think, oh yeah, that looks abusive, but I haven't actually seen more context to it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna feel good with that answer because I don't know. Because I need to see more of that. I need to see
Yeah,
more
yeah. I'm
context.
not. That's just a different way of avoiding. I'm talking about opening up a portal to your brain so the other person can see what you are feeling and thinking in real time.
Hmm.
But yeah, giving recycled answers is just a different way of being
Yeah,
guarded
yeah. I
because
feel like
you're not
I
really
feel like
saying what you're.
90% of people do that.
Yeah, well, especially when there's a camera on them, because I
Yeah,
mean, if you don't know what you're gonna say, I think very fast in terms of like
you do.
I can think about how what I'm gonna say is gonna sound pretty quickly before I say it, which
Mhm.
gives me the appearance of being more unfiltered, but I might just have like a faster filter.
I think I have a slower brain, but I also think I have a language barrier sometimes, which makes me need to like. There's a lot of other things that's going on.
Translation and conversion and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also like connection words with feelings
That's
and
fine. That's
connection.
not what
You
we're
know.
talking about though. There's part
Hmm.
of this where you just don't want other people to know what you're thinking in real time. That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about. You just don't
And
want people to know.
in that case, I think you know more about that than I know about myself,
Cool.
if you say so. Then I
If you
actually
say
don't
so.
know.
I don't. Well,
I
maybe
don't.
neither
I
of us.
don't know.
Maybe neither of us. I don't know either. I'm just saying that's what it seems like. I'm doing it right
Yeah.
now. I don't know. I just this is what I think.
Mm-hmm. That's why I asked about an example. Like if I got a question, I want to try it out because I'm not entirely sure.
I don't want to do that to you
Yeah, I
in
know.
public or
Yeah,
in private.
but in
I don't want to
private,
do that to
not
you.
even in private.
You know, if you, Steven, and me and Shaylin want to have a Discord dinner sometime, I would be
Hmm.
interested in talking about this. But I don't know. I don't want to have a private Discord call with you where I try to pick apart your feelings. That's weird.
Oh, why do you want to have other people or like there listening to it?
Because it's too intimate.
Oh, hmm. I'm a very curious person.
That's great.
Hmm. Like I really want to know things that people think.
Yeah.
I feel like the one reason I think I can like handle a lot of things that most normal people wouldn't be able to handle is because I don't fully believe in anything ever. And you probably don't like that.
That you don't fully believe in things?
Yeah, like I take everything with a grain of salt. Everything.
No, I don't dislike that.
Hmm.
It's just different.
That's why I think I can hear and see and observe and I can experience a lot of things and still be fine with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the I don't have as strong of a stomach for listening to things that are like disturbing or that I think are wrong. Like I will freak out and derail the conversation, whereas you would be able to listen to much more of it and take much more in.
Yeah, maybe. Hmm. I like the real love to this one.
You like what?
I like the conversation. I like that we I wasn't sure about this conversation if it was gonna be very like, oh, we're talking about this one specific thing, but it's kind of just like flowing through.
You were resistant to the idea of talking about a specific thing,
Yeah,
and then you made it so we didn't.
kind of. Did I do that?
Yes.
You didn't want that?
Uh, I'm I'm used to very edited, very focused content creation. And so the
Hmm.
idea of just turning on my camera and being like, let's see what happens today on
Hmm.
Twitch, I don't really want to do that.
Hmm.
So I'm okay with it. I knew you were
Hmm.
gonna do this and that there was no way I could stop you. And you did, and I was right. But I don't generally want to have like just free flowing conversations chatting
Yeah,
with
yeah.
XYZ about whatever comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because lately, when I try to do that, the same fucking thing always comes up. It's always some streamer saying I'm irresponsible or that I don't talk the way they think I should or that they have some fucking problem. And it's always the same problem and it's always the same conversation. So for those two reasons that I don't like unedited, meandering content and being wary of where it's going to go, for now, I want to have pretty focused discussions, yeah.
What do you think about this discussion?
You're Destiny's wife. So, this discussion is this. Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're like Mia Wallace, and you're like, well, just talk about whatever, and I'll just say whatever. And I'm like, hyper cognizant of your boundaries, of my relationship with Destiny, of your marriage, of like whatever. There's like I'm much more trying to make sure that I don't break anybody's boundaries because I don't want to.
How can you
And
break our boundaries?
I don't know because well, we
So you
don't.
try to be careful. So you felt careful in this conversation.
I'm careful in every conversation, but I'm more careful in this one because we're talking about people who aren't here. I feel careful about Shaylin too. I feel
Mm-hmm.
I feel protective of
We
both
didn't really
Destiny.
talk that much about Steve.
I feel protective of Destiny or Steven. I feel protective
Mm-hmm.
of both Steven and Shaylin. And you
Mm-hmm.
are like a fucking you're I guess you felt more protective of Shaylin and I felt more protective of Steven. Right?
Yeah.
Like I would say so when the conversation's veering over towards Steven, I felt like I want to protect him. And when it's going towards
Why? Is
Shaylin,
it because you care, or is it because you're scared of, like, are you
retribution.
scared of upsetting him, or are you scared of losing your friendship with him, or are you scared of
I don't
the
think
publicity or like the public sort of?
uh I don't think it's any of those. I think a big fight with Steven would probably be good for both of our careers, honestly.
Oh,
I
if
don't
you
I'm not
disagree
I'm
with
not
something.
yeah, if we have a big fight or big falling out or something, I drama seems people really like drama. I care because I just care about him.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
But yeah, it's not I don't think he's gonna end the like personal connection or professional based on anything I say to you in this conversation. It's more just I don't know. I just care about his feelings. I just feel the same. I mean, what? It's not like you're afraid of something happening that Shaylin's gonna like cancel you or something. Like she's gonna draw a comic about you and ruin your career. I just think that you care about her feel. I don't know because I just
I
care.
think I'm a pretty empathetic person to a lot of people. Or like
I feel empathy for Steven. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel over me?
Also, when he comes in the room and he's like, "Don't let him mind fuck you," and then you're like challenge
He had a
my
disagreement. He had a
you,
disagreement.
that's fine, but then like an hour later you're like, "Hey, tell me everything you think about the way I am." I'm like, I he just
It's
said
fine.
not to do. He just said that.
I'm my own person.
I know.
I think it was mainly joking. Or he had a
Well,
disagreement and he was like, don't let him
I don't.
basically.
I think he knew it was funny, but I don't know that he was joking.
Okay, this is what I think. I think what happened there is exactly the same thing as you saw when I talked to Dr. K. Dr. K said something, and I was sitting there doing this, right? And then you said something that he thinks is like, this is not right, and I'm sitting doing this.
Right. And
So
he
when he
doesn't
sees that,
know.
and
So
he knows, that I
right.
disagree with you,
Right.
and
So
I'm
he
just
wants
sitting there doing this.
he wants you to push back.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've established this openly and directly enough now that anyone watching knows that just because you were quiet about something I said has no bearing on whether you agree with it.
Yeah. I did say something that I did pick an argument, but I didn't push. I
You did.
wasn't screaming at you, but I did say it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. That's usually what I do. I usually say it, but I don't push hard. Like I don't start fighting with people. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like fighting.
I do. I
You
like
do
it
like
better.
fighting?
I like fighting. I hate I hate holding my tongue. I like so if fighting has to people on Twitch are very conflict averse. Like nobody want everybody's like it went so badly we got in a fight and I'm like what the chat only wants to watch us rip each other's throats out. I don't understand. Do you really think people don't come to this website to fucking
Hmm.
watch you calmly chat with people you get along with and play Halo? They want I mean, some people do, but I would say that the politics people want fights.
Yeah.
They want us to fight. The chat wants us to fight.
Hmm.
I DM'd Lauren Southern about this afterward, and I was like, I think next time we talk, we have to remember that the chat is against us, because our goal is to connect with each other, and the chat does not want us to connect. They want to see a
Hmm.
train wreck.
Yeah. I think it depends on who you talk to, though.
Yes, but what I don't get is that if they know the chat wants a train wreck and we're genuinely disagreeing and mad at each other, then why can't we have open conflict? It just seems like it would be better. But I think most of my Twitch debates turn into are we going to have open conflict or not? And the other person doesn't want. They're like, I'll say what I think of you later when you're not here.
Hmm.
I'm like, just say it now, and then we can fucking talk about it. It might be interesting.
Hmm.
I've learned my lesson though. I'm not going to do many more of those streams with
Which
those
streams?
with those people. The
Politics
str-
people.
the streams where people won't just come out and fucking say like what they think about whatever issue we're talking about.
Are you disappointed in the way I talk?
No, because that's not what we're talking about that.
Yeah.
So no.
But do you think I'm being honest in the conversation?
I think I wouldn't like having a debate with you about like Black Lives Matter because then I wouldn't
It's
know I wouldn't know why you're saying what you're saying because you're guarded.
mm.
And so I think if you're going to like fight and argue about stuff, it works better if you're less guarded.
Do you want to try to talk about something more specific that
No,
we might have like different opinions about? You don't want to do that?
no,
No. Okay.
for that reason.
For that reason that you don't think that I'm
It's
not gonna
just it's
tell
you're
you
just
why I think the way I
you're
do.
just tricking me because you know that I'm passionate about the issue, and then you can manipulate me into using my passion about the issue into then giving you the criticism and feedback about how you communicate that you just asked me to give you and that I said no to. And so now you think if you wave a fucking red flag in front of me, then I'll just go for it. And you almost got me, but no.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I did not understand that. So wait. Do you think I'm being manipulated?
Yeah.
Because I let you talk.
No, because you told me you want me to tear down your communication style. I said no. Then you
Hmm.
said let's talk about Black Lives Matter because you know that if we start talking about it, then I will tear down your communication style whether I want to or not.
And
I
you
will
don't want to do
compulse.
that because you're scared of what Steven thinks about you.
No, I don't want to do it because
No?
I don't think it's right. I just don't want to. That's not we didn't
Oh,
agree to
so
it.
wait. So you're okay. The way I see it is that you view me as almost like a religious person, and you don't want to tell the religious person that God and Jesus doesn't exist because if you take that away from them, you're gonna turn them into a dark person.
I'm
Or
fine with turning
you're gonna take away something from them that is important for them, and you will make their life more.
I'm fine with taking away all of your light in your life and turning you a dark person. I
Okay.
just don't want to do it right now this way.
Oh, okay. But you're fine with doing it.
I'm fine with that being the outcome. I just think it's unethical to do it in certain ways, or I'll just fail and look dumb. It's just not what we agreed to do. I just don't fucking want
Sure.
to.
We don't have to do that.
Fuck off. Stop. Stop it.
Okay. I'll
I
stop.
said I said no.
Okay. No more.
Yeah.
Do you have any other things that you want to talk about?
That's a destiny, isn't it? Anything else? Was there anything else? Anything else you want to talk about?
I felt like I was more the person that is asking you questions than the other way around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm asking you if there's anything else.
I know what you're asking. No, I don't think so. Is there anything else you'd like to say or discuss?
Not that I can think about. I hope you enjoy the conversation. I hope you have a positive view of me.
Yeah. Um. Well, no, I. It's complicated. It's a complicated conversation, and you're a complicated dude.
Am I?
Yeah. You
Can I
guys
ask you
both
why you...
are. No,
Can you
you
ask me
can't.
why? No?
No,
Okay, no more.
no.
Just complicated.
Yeah.
Do you think you're No, you don't think you're complicated. You think you're very straightforward.
I think I'm complicated, but I think I'm probably. I don't think I'm that like. I'm just not as guarded. I think you said it best.
Mm-hmm.
You're guarded in a way where you're even guarding when you're being guarded. So that makes it a bit confusing.
Hmm. I don't think I
So
want to be
so
guarded.
so Steven.
Oh. Hmm. Do you think he's more guarded than me?
No.
You think I'm more guarded?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he would disagree. But I think it's because I don't think he knows me 100%. Because he's not looking at the right places.
Hmm.
What do you think about?
He might be more guarded than either of us think. I
Well,
don't know.
maybe. That could be the case too. Can I ask you what things you're gonna ask him when you talk to him next week? Or like what areas? Where do you want to go? What is your goal?
My goal is to provide a non-combative space. I guess it's not to tear his guard down. It's to have a conversation where he doesn't feel like he has to be guarded. That's my goal. So I just want to ask him about his life. I feel like most of the time he talks about himself, it's in the context of someone attacking him and him proving them wrong or acknowledging whatever. And I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to. I just want to. I want to know what he thinks about his life, not what he thinks about what other people think about his life.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious what he means to you.
He means a lot to me.
He does?
Yeah,
For what reasons?
he believed in me um when I needed somebody to believe in me,
Mm-hmm.
and he took a risk, and I needed somebody to take that risk.
Oh, that's nice. Do you think you would ever I think he gets the feeling that he gets very used
And
by people.
yeah,
Do you
that's
feel like
why
you would do that to him?
I keep. That's why I bring it up every time I talk to him, is because I there's no way around the fact that he like saved my career. There's no way around that. And like they so we can talk about it or we can pretend it didn't happen, or either way, I think it kind of sucks.
What sucks that
It
that
sucks
power
that
dynamic is
it
missing?
sucks that I benefited and benefit so much from talking to him. It sucks for
Mm-hmm.
him. I think that it would have been way nicer for him if somebody else had platformed me and then we had met as like colleagues and equals.
Yeah.
And I would like to get to the place where it feels more like that. But right now, it's like effectively, I mean, like I had a following, but I did not have the momentum that I have right now. Like I am expanding
Yeah.
and growing rapidly, and I didn't have that
Mm-hmm.
before. And it is all thanks to him. And so
I
yeah,
think
I
I
mean,
will.
especially
Yeah.
after seeing these fucking people on Twitch. Like, I get why he doesn't
He
trust
feels that
anybody.
way. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. That's something I
Yeah.
learned like when I met him. I also learned to not trust anyone. Before that, I did trust everyone.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like, well, on Twitch, I'm still trusting on Twitch, but like, Jesus Christ, these fucking people.
Yeah.
And so you're asking me, am I one of those people? Am I going to use him somehow?
Do you think you
No.
could?
What?
Do you think you could? Like, do you think that you
Well,
could
what
go
can
in
you give
that
me a
direction?
specific? Can you give me a specific example of what I would do?
Um,
To me, using someone's is like
like what if you
betraying.
became what if
Sorry.
you became really, really big? And
Yeah.
then you decided that you just like you found out that oh, it actually benefits me to just hate this fucker. And I'm just
No.
gonna continue growing and I'm just gonna
It would already
start talking
benefit.
to all these bigger streamers, you know?
It would already benefit me to hate him. I think.
Yeah. It does for a lot of people on Twitch already to hate him.
I think
Just
it.
to
I
hate him
think
makes you,
so. A
at
lot of
least
my
like
fans are
him.
also his fans, but I think that there is a way we could have a fight that would probably benefit both of us, or at least me.
Mhm.
No, he will always be the guy who stood up for me and launched my career, no matter what.
Mhm. I know that he is very scared of people kind of just like going at him and then just ditching and then just like go against him because that's like the popular opinion to have. I know that he like it's happened and I know that he's very scared of people doing that. Um I even think he's scared of that I do that, that I would, that I'm gonna realize like wait, like having him in my life is not gonna
You
be good for
have a
me.
lot of followers.
Yeah. It's not necessarily just from him.
I'm not saying
I
it
kind
is.
of,
I'm not saying it
huh?
is.
Yeah.
I'm saying that you're a big
Yeah,
streamer.
exactly. But he, I think he is scared of me just like realizing like, wait, it's so much better if I was single or if I was dating one of these like bigger streamers. I could just move on and like go off and, you know, like have a better life, like get more money doing these things
Right. Well,
than staying around.
it's a double-edged sword because if I'm small and I need him,
Yeah,
then he knows I'll be loyal to him because I have to.
yeah, but I don't.
But that's and you don't. But that's not real
Yeah.
loyalty.
Hmm.
Real loyalty is when you're loyal to somebody you don't have to be loyal to. Shaylin and I have had a couple similar conversations where like she has to question like as I become bigger like are you with me because you love me or are you with me because you didn't have any other opportunities?
Yeah.
Um Honestly, a lot of my friends are it's happening with everybody in my life right now. I feel like there's this reckoning happening where everybody who I love and care about is like I guess we're going to find out what you really feel about me when like if you become famous and wealthy and you don't have to talk to me anymore. Um I have no
Because a lot of
plans.
people do that.
Yeah, I guess I have no plans to ditch any of my loved ones.
Hmm.
I don't.
Same.
Yeah. And I have no plans to. No, I would. I can't imagine what any situation that would lead to me betraying Steven for any reason.
Hmm. Yeah, that's nice. I think that means a lot for him. Of course, he's not gonna trust it until he sees it,
I know
kind of thing.
it'll be a bumpy ride
For you or for him? Or for
for all
you
four of
together?
us.
For all
For all
four of
four
us?
of us, yeah.
Do you think us four? Wait, what do you think the dynamic would look like if we all met in real life?
I don't know. It'd
Hmm.
probably be nice, but
Yeah,
also messy.
messy, but that doesn't have to be bad.
No, but we're all kind of like a little unhinged in our own ways.
You
So
think I'm unhinged too?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I think after the first conversation that I had with you, I think I looked your YouTube channel up, and then he came in here,
Yeah.
and then he said something about that this guy is very smart, and I don't find a lot of people that I feel like I can have a meaningful conversation with that feels very real. And it makes me upset that a person like this could be lost into nothing. And like this guy is creative. He puts a lot of effort into his videos, the ways that he thinks, and he hasn't blown up yet. What if he never did? That would make me very sad. That's the first thing that he said about you to me.
Well, he saved me from that.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's very happy to do that too. Because he sees a lot of potential. Not just like in the work that you do, but also as a human.
I don't have the kind of ego that is going to make me need to believe that I could have or would have done this without his help.
What does that mean?
It means that I accept that I very well may have never gone anywhere if it weren't for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need to turn around and ever try to take credit for what he's done for me.
Mm-hmm. I think that's nice. I think I know that he's a person that if he feel like he can do very little and that he likes how someone is or he likes somebody, he can do things for them. And I think that he enjoys doing it, but I think it's very scary for him as well to do it sometimes because I think he gets hurt whenever someone is like left. Like
Well, because
he has
I'm
really
not
like, huh?
I'm not just obscure.
Mhm.
I'm also hated by some people. So it's not, the risk is not just that he's going to platform somebody who turns out to be boring.
Mhm.
The risk is that he's going to platform a literal like child predator
Yeah.
or rapist or abuser or whatever the fuck.
I think why he decides to, how do I say? I think, as I said before, a lot of people just copy someone else's opinion because it sounds good and it's a popular, trendy opinion. And he's not one of those people. He actually tries to understand and listen to what people say and
Yeah.
what they mean by what they're saying. Because you can just like pull up a card, you can start screaming and pointing fingers at someone, but you're like, that's what people would rather do than actually understanding what someone means by something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling?
Uh, I get very emotional whenever I talk or think about this. So
Mm-hmm.
um I just feel grateful, but uh, the idea that he would think that I could betray him. I know why he thinks that, but it makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. I think he thinks that about me too. But of course, like don't listen to what I say. I think you should see what he says too, right?
I will.
Yeah. Because it's just like through me what he said to me.
Yes, I know. I know
Mhm.
that you are not his representative as much as you
Mhm.
are trying to be.
Yeah.
You're saying what you think he should say, but we'll see what he actually says.
I don't think he communicates everything that he feels and thinks through words.
No,
I think he's like
well, he
he
doesn't
might give
have
like
to.
10% of it. He might
That's
like
okay.
I don't
I
think
know
he's
that.
yeah.
I'm not
Mhm.
gonna pry.
Mhm. It would be cool. I want to see the conversation that you guys will have because I I think you might have noticed I really like to see how people think and I like to see them be completely open about things. That's why I ask a lot of questions.
Especially your own husband.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't know him 100%. And it's kind of hard. It's been a lot of work. It's been 3 years of trying to get to know him.
Well, Melina, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. sometimes I might think that maybe someone else that he feels more similar to mentally, like how they think, is gonna
Mhm.
be it's gonna be easier for him to open up or like change or, like become more of himself, like be more open.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like one other friend that we had. You're very similar to him. And when that friend died, he said that he felt sad because he doesn't feel like he knows anyone that thinks in a similar way to him. So he feels like lonely a little bit. But then he said that you're very similar to that one person. So I think that made him very happy.
I don't think. Yeah, I've heard people have told me that,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I don't think we should talk about this right now.
Okay, that's fine. How long are we streaming for?
Almost 3 hours.
3 hours. Do you feel like you need a rest before you do your debate thing
Yeah,
that
I
you're
gotta
gonna
go
do?
talk to the. I gotta talk to the Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so I
feel
do
good?
need a rest.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad we talked.
You are?
Yeah.
Would you ever talk to me again?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
I would like to talk again.
Yay, good. Okay. Same.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for having you on your
Thanks for
stream.
having me on my own stream.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing the time. It was a lot of
And
fun, for
and
sure.
thanks for sharing your time, but also your viewers.
Oh yeah, of course. I think that I think that you're something that I care about. So if I can feed into that, that makes me happy.
I really appreciate it.
Hmm. Okay, good luck with your debates.
Thanks.
Okay, take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Melina is cool, right? Yeah, Melina is cool. Why do I have teary eyes? You know why. We just talked about it. I just explained that. All right, I'm gonna move in. Yeah. It seems like she planted a seed of self-destruction in you in case you betray Steven. Oh, she was protecting him by making me promise never to do that. But I've already promised never to do that. But yeah, that's true. There is like a mama bear aspect to that I didn't think about. She's very smart. She's very good at what she does. Make sure you stream on YouTube. Yeah, I'm streaming the Kill stream on YouTube, on my alternate YouTube channel, which I'm going to type into the chat. He has strong oil glands. Yeah. These lights are hot, but this is my last day with these lights. I got the LED lights, so I'm switching over. That shit hit home for me too. Yeah. Yeah, he changed my life. Does what you say affect your relationship with Steven? I don't know. Not for me. I already felt all that. I guess we'll see what he thinks. Are we talking to Ethan Ralph? Ethan Ralph is moderating talking to Vince James. Were you a fan of Steven before your first talk with him? I wasn't a fan, but I'd watched a few debates or clips, like short clips, where people were saying you think kind of like him, or you communicate kind of like him, or like you're willing to talk about. He's willing to talk about this kind of stuff that you are, and like you should try to connect with him. It's mostly people recommending that I talk to him. Nothing like going into a Nazi debate with weepy eyes. I know. I'm probably. Honestly, I think white supremacy makes me pretty sad too, so it'll just be a continuation. Was it closer to sort of intimate discussions you're trying to have? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's guarded, and I said that. So like, I want to have unguarded discussions about like different political topics. So it's not in that sense, but if we're gonna just like chat, then yeah, definitely. When is the debate? 10 p.m. Eastern. I think your take on Dr. K is on point and has rarely been said by anyone. I think he's purposely ignoring you because you attack his character. Well, I've never attacked his character before, but now I feel compelled to. Or it's his method. It's not really his character. It's what he's doing, not who he is. I kind of hope you do betray him because the circle jerk is getting kind of obnoxious. Well, if you want blood sports, tune into the kill stream, motherfucker. I'm not going to do that. Mr. Girl Returns has been dominated by Melina and has now become submissive. Maybe. Have you read any Chuck Palahniuk books? No. I've been meaning to, though. I want to. I should. Great convo, but it was hard to focus due to playing Cookie Clicker. I'm sorry. I sent you down the dark path. You were surprised, and we were surprised. About what? You shouldn't add your social to your Twitch about. I don't know what you mean. When you're talking about how you put in other people's heads, do you think you did that to relate to them more, hence strengthening your relationship, or solely to embrace your own emotions? Yeah, I think it's both. I want to be more vulnerable and present, and like I know it's aggressive sometimes, but it's also about like I don't know, kind of digging myself out and putting myself like more raw in the conversation. I know you hate this chat trivialization, but that was a great convo. I don't hate it. I appreciate it. I don't have a lot to say about it, as that's like it's not trivial. It's just like vague and concise, but I don't hate it. I appreciate it. Are you already making living money off of content creation? If it keeps up the way it is, yes. I will be able to live off of content creation if it stays at this level. If it increases, I will be able to live and save. If it increases further, I'll be able to live well and save. And if it increases further, I will be able to build an empire, a mansion, concubines. I don't want to say slaves, but something like it. And do some more higher budget, more risky projects that I think about from time to time. And how much time is the kill stream? The kill stream is in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm gonna read the donations. Wait. will the Mr. Girl Splaining format come back? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be super well, I don't know. When I have one that I want to make, I will. I think it's very time consuming, and I'm very busy, and I've already made like 30 plus. It being time consuming is not the reason. I just don't have the urge to do it, honestly. I don't have the urge to make one right now. When I do, I definitely will, and I like the format, but I like changing formats. Like I don't want to do it just because I used to, or because I'm supposed to, or because people want me to. I think that yeah, when I fucking feel like it, it'll come back. Probably. I don't fucking know. Oh, if your Twitter is 18 plus, be careful. Okay. I don't know if it is, but I'll get rid of it. Okay. I'll fucking get rid of it right now. Jesus Christ. How do I unlink my Twitter from my Twitch? I don't want to get banned. Okay. I'll fucking get rid of it right now. Jesus Christ. Creator dashboard. Wait, is that where I want to go? Channel. Edit. Wait, no. How do I disconnect my socials? Edit. Okay, whatever. I'll figure it out. Okay, I'm gonna read the donations. How do I will call Twitch tech support after this and have a lengthy conversation where they can explain to me how I'm supposed to do this. Tip history. All right. Okay. Twisted Peepee for $2.69 wants me to know, I think you should play Catherine Full Body on PS4. I think you'd like. Also, you and Kanye are my top rappers right now. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Catherine, it does interest me. I might even own it. Your New Rabbi, already interested, because he gave me $1. Religion is a fundamental part of the human experience, and I can't understand how one would see fit to deprive themselves of it. You're losing something and gaining nothing. Do you think your aversion is based in ego? No, it's just based on it not being real, and it doesn't appeal to me. And not only do I want to deprive myself of it, I want to deprive others of it. And not just religion, but like, I don't want to deprive people of religion, but I want to make people face death and their own dread, because I think we all have it, and I think it's lonely to pretend we don't. And you're going to say that I'm just lonely and egotistical, and I want to drag other people into the darkness with me, and that will, it could be true. Mike Ross gave me $10. Thank you again. I appreciate the way you think. It's different in a good way. I agree with Destiny that you should frame things better, but enjoy the convos. Well, appreciate what Destiny has done for you and help him when you get the chance. Help Destiny. Destiny doesn't need my help. But of course I will do whatever I can. I don't even know if I want to frame things better. I don't even know what that means. But thank you for the $10. Edge Kaczynski gave me $4.29. Update on NFT project. It's coming along. Obviously, this was a shifting over to streaming as like my kind of like job, and I've been very overwhelmed. I have a lot of kind of administrative stuff to do for the channel. I have like a lot of orders I have to send out of stuff people have bought, and I'm still waiting for my CDs and shit to come in. So there's a lot of shit to do. But I have an interview and some other. It's coming. I don't know what else to say. It's coming. I'm working on it. The project is about Stone Toss's Flirks NFTs and their distribution, and me investigating it. But I don't know when it will be done. Mike Ross gave me $15. Thank you again. I was a religious Democrat for a long time. Thankfully, I realized that both are the wrong path. The universe is amazing and freedom should be protected and not given to the government. Maybe I'm a unicorn. So you're a non-religious, non-Democrat. That is rare, I think. Probably less rare than it used to be. Thank you again. Okay, I'm gonna scroll to catch up with chat. Destiny will need me for what? What will he need help with? You think he'll get himself into some kind of jam? Mr. Girl, do you happen to have a slight case of scoliosis noticed by the neck posture? I don't know. I wish I hadn't read this out loud. I don't like talking about my body. Like, even if I did, I would just say I don't want to talk to you about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't care what you noticed about my fucking neck posture. Fuck. I'm an atheist lefty from birth. Are my genes just better? I don't think that's genetic. Why is the kill stream on YouTube and not on Twitch? Because I don't want to get banned. And I don't know. People are giving me conflicting advice about whether this guy is going to get banned. Shaylin is here, guys. She's here. Oh, you checked. Doesn't like talking about his body. Loves exhibitionism. Yeah. It's really odd for a physical trainer to suggest he doesn't like talking about his body. You're not my clients. If my clients wanted to talk about it, I guess I would. But you have to understand what it's like to have like 1,000 people looking at you on a camera, and every single one of them has some fucking shit to say about your body. It's just a boundary I want to set with my fans or viewers or anti-fans or whoever wants to talk about it. I don't want to talk about my body. It just feels too personally like violating. So I'm not saying you can't talk. I'm not gonna like ban people or try to silence you. I'm just saying if I can catch myself in time, I don't want to read about it and I don't want to talk about it. Like, there's got to be something that's just mine. Like, obviously you can see my body and I'm communicating with it. I don't want to talk about it. And if you think that's odd, then that's fine. Then that's an odd thing I don't want to do. But I don't want to do it. Killstream is going to be bad faith and dishonest as fuck. I know, I've been on there before. On Killstream, they do N-word attacks sometimes. Randomly say N-word. I know. So that's why. Yeah. I guess I can disconnect the stream if I need to. The next call-in show is Sunday. Sunday at 3. Wait. No. Sunday at 8 Eastern. I never know what time anything is. Let me check my schedule. Sunday at 8 Eastern. Every Sunday at 8 Eastern is Advice and Confessions with Mr. Girl. Nice iPad. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. I got this as another boundary thing. I got this iPad so that I can... it doesn't have any connection to any of my Mr. Girl socials. This is my home iPad, and I take my phone and I turn it off, and then I just have this. Do you agree with the statement that everything in the world is on spectrum and that balance is a key? No. I don't think everything is a spectrum. I just think a lot of human behavior is, which is mostly what we're talking about. I don't think balance is key. I think it's just up to you. I don't know. I think it's more just like a key to what? Success? There's no success. Everything's a mess. I think that leads more into my spectrum stuff of just like, we can define things as we want or as we need to, but I think it's worth looking at things from different angles and sort of deconstructing those. Is your phone that size for comedic effect? It's an iPad. Is there a way to apply to the call-in show? Yeah, go to Discord and join it. Join my Discord. I think there's a link on my YouTube channel, or someone will probably tell you on. What do I think of YouTube removing the dislike count? I agree with the criticism that for stuff like tutorials, it is definitely unhelpful because you can instantly tell, like, oh, this is not helpful. Like, this isn't a good one. But as somebody who gets dogpiled and needs people to approach my channel with an open mind, definitely having a big flag there saying, like, nobody likes this guy is not helpful for me. So I would say I personally like the dislike count being removed. I probably would like all likes and dislikes being removed. I don't know. Get rid of both of them. That would be cool. The algorithm knows if you watched it, and then you can leave a comment saying what you think. It doesn't have to, not everything has to be a thumbs up or thumbs down. So I'd probably be glad for both. All right. You have no answers. You're just infatuated with intimate raw exchanges, whether they make sense and reveal truth or not. I think that is true. And I will leave it at that. All right. I'm going to go get ready for this shit. Thanks for watching this conversation. Oh, I know who we're gonna raid. I know who we're gonna raid. Oh, yeah. I want you to be the rowdiest, rudest, craziest fucking assholes imaginable when you get there. I want you to make him wish that he'd never platformed me with your fucking behavior when you get in there. All right. Goodbye, horses.